give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
This?
I thought you'd never ask.
I love that that's how the podcast is actually going to start now. Yeah. It's just going to start with you going like this.
Yep. So, welcome, episode 21, Fuel My Fire podcast. Second time with video, probably my first because I don't really remember the first one. So a little bit more sensible today.
Not on the 7% stouts today.
No, I didn't spend 150 quid on 7% stout last time.
150?
Yeah.
We had about 4 of them before we started.
Yeah. Anywho, we're all here in the Griffin. We're got another special guest for everyone to view and hear. Rich, thank you for joining us.
No worries, thanks for having me.
No problem. So Rich is all over Metal to the Masses, which obviously we have reviewed every one of them so far. We had some questions, we've done some interviews with some of the bands, and I think we had some of the information wrong because we were told we got it wrong. So we're here to clear it all up for us.
Oh, fair enough, I don't know. Probably get it wrong myself, to be honest.
Well, then it's no one's fault, right?
Yeah.
So should we, I guess you're a bit stuck for time, should we go straight into it? We can do gigs afterwards, it's fine. What got you into metal? Let's start with you, a bit about you.
Oh, what got me into metal?
Yeah.
Wow. Don't know, well, to be honest, I've always been into like extreme music. I suppose everybody's got a different opinion of what extreme music is.
Yeah.
But basically, if anything made my parents go, woo, then I liked it. So I've been into everything, I still do, I am into everything. I love every type of music. I've always been into heavy metal, I've always been into even rap, early 90s, funk era, gangster rap, love all of that stuff as well. Do you know what, actually though, if I'm being 100% honest, what got me into heavy metal, and this is so not heavy metal, the Top Gun soundtrack.
Really?
I'm not even joking.
That's not
Mate,
bad sound.
It's pretty badass though.
The closing credits song, down, da 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 da. That was amazing.
Yeah.
So from then, I just loved the sound of crunchy guitars.
Oh yeah.
And then, believe it or not, I was actually a pipe band drummer.
Oh really?
Really?
So I played in pipe bands. I used to play in all the rugby matches up in Scotland in the field, for the
That's probably quite an
games
atmosphere.
and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it was great. And then basically, so I wasn't not playing the pipes, but playing the drums, obviously. And then I decided one year I wanted a drum kit.
Yeah.
I got a drum kit and saved up all my pocket money. Got my first drum kit. I've still got it.
Nice. Good effort.
I've still got that drum kit up in my loft. And
that's a weird place to play it.
Yeah, I know it is. Yeah. And then I've got and then I just taught myself from there, and my taste just seemed to get, I suppose, heavier and heavier and heavier. Even though, I like everything.
Yeah.
Like absolutely everything.
Good way to be.
Yeah,
that's great.
So my drum teachers were if anyone asked who they were, I would say it's Lars Ulrich, Dave Cunningham, you know what I mean? And then Dave Lombardo, all these guys, they taught me the drums, I guess.
That's really cool that you're self-taught.
That's pretty cool.
Playing along. Yeah. So, it's just been a never-ending string of different bands until where we are now, I guess.
Yeah.
Have you played in any bands?
Yeah. So obviously played in Mortishead.
Okay.
Mortishead, we won Metal to the Masses in 2015.
Very good. So that means you played Bloodstock.
Yes, yeah. So first time we'd done the competition, won it the first year. I know there'll be a lot of other bands that who've been plugging away at it for years. But we managed to fluke it in the first year, to be honest. And it was great. So
that was the first year it was in Bristol, or first year in general?
Yes, that was the first year. No, it wasn't the first year in Bristol. It had been running for a few years before.
Right.
And then we entered the 2015 one, won it. And then after that, the usual thing that would happen with the Bristol Metal to the Masses was the previous year's winners would come and play the final, headline the final the next year. But the guy who was running it when we ran it we obviously ruined it for him because he decided he didn't want to do it anymore.
Really?
So I phoned Simon.
Yeah.
In fact, well, it wasn't me actually. I think it was Nick actually who phoned Simon, and said who's running Metal to the Masses this year, because obviously we want to headline it. And he went, you.
Oh wow, okay.
Basically, we were like, what do you mean? He was like, well, there's nobody else running it, so if you guys want to do it, you can do it.
Yeah.
And the rest is history, so we've been doing it ever since. So yeah, we've run it since 2016.
It's solid, like almost 10 years now then. It's a decade.
Yeah, wow.
That's it. It's been a decade.
This is our 9th year. Yeah, wow. That's
yeah.
mental. That's crazy, doesn't it? I don't remember all of those. Like,
No.
It feels like we've been doing it for about 3 years. But I can only remember maybe the last 3.
Yeah. That's
So
pretty cool.
did the running the Metal to the Masses then, did that slow down Mortishead, or did it help or hinder it, or?
No, so what we did at first is we actually sort of decided, you know what, we're going to run Metal to the Masses, but we're going to do it under Mortishead's brand. So it was like Mortishead hosts
Very good.
to the Masses.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that sort of kept our name out there as well.
Yeah.
And we'd always make sure we wouldn't take the limelight and headline the final, but we'd do one of the semi-finals.
Right, yeah,
And then previous years winners headline the finals. But we'd always have one of the
That's always good, yeah.
Yeah, and it also meant that like my drum kit was on the stage with the Mortishead M on it. We'd stuck our
branding, little bit of branding.
Branding was everywhere. And then so and that kind of worked for us, and we released another EP, and then we played Bloodstock again in 2018.
Oh, cool.
How did you get in the second time?
Just applied that time.
Okay.
So it was just a case of, Simon, do you fancy booking us for the
Who's Simon, by the way?
Simon Hall, the guy who books the bands for Bloodstock.
Yeah.
Well, certainly he books 3 of the 4 stages anyway.
Right, okay.
As far as I'm aware, and I think
I've heard his name floating around
Yeah.
quite a bit, yeah.
So he should be at the final this year.
Oh, cool. That'd be nice.
Does he go to all the finals then?
He tries to get around most of them, I mean, some of them clash, so he can't get to them or whatever, but I think he is coming to our one this year, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that actually I was going to go on to the Bloodstock, but actually, on that note then, is it all, like, there's a grand plan somewhere? Because this competition's all over the country, right? So, like I've heard from some of the bands that the Bristol one is always particularly late. Is that driven by Bloodstock in the sense of they're trying to get enough bands all around the place, or?
I think that's probably more driven by our lack of organisational skill. We've never been particularly snappy or quick at doing anything. If I'm honest with you. No, I think, to be honest, it's more driven by whether we can get the venue and all that kind of stuff.
Right, yeah.
So we've had a really good relationship with the Exchange for pretty much that entire time.
That's really good.
And they know that we bring in a decent crowd for every single one of them, so they treat us really well.
That's really good, especially because the Exchange, I mean, nowadays especially is quite a popular venue, and they're getting some quite big bands there. So they definitely probably have quite a lot of booking requests and stuff. So having that solidly at the Exchange, I think, is really, really cool.
That's it. But generally we seem to always be the last final. I don't know if that's intentional or not, but we're certainly this year we're the last one.
Okay,
so before the actual festival proper. So,
Do you get any kind of guidelines from the organisers of Bloodstock? As in, you have to have X number of weeks or set number of bands, or?
No, they're really cool. They give you totally free reign to run it how you want to run it.
That's cool.
They give you some guidelines around how it should be judged and to keep it fair and all that kind of stuff. Which is really useful, to be fair. But the thing is, they can't have a set format for everywhere because some places just aren't as big.
No, exactly.
Like Scotland, for example, they've only got one Metal to the Masses competition
for the whole. Yeah.
What they do is they do regions.
Oh, do
so
they?
Basically, they have a Glasgow heat, a Dundee heat. You know what I mean? So they go around the towns in Aberdeen heat, and then they have the final.
Because I was talking to one of the members of Hammers when they played here. Obviously, they won it last year, and they were saying, Hammer, and they're great. But they were saying that I think that maybe their information is a bit wrong, because they were saying that they felt like it was a bit like, because there's only one bit there, it was a bit tough for some of the bands from outside of Glasgow or whatever to kind of bring their lot kind of to them kind of thing. Yeah.
I mean that they do still have that issue,
Right,
Because obviously, if they've got their heats and stuff in each
Right,
different
but then they've got to come to the finals.
So you'll have like a finalist from Glasgow, a finalist from Dundee, a finalist from Aberdeen, and then they all have to descend on Edinburgh.
Right.
So the band, I suppose, what they're saying is like the band from Edinburgh that wins it, but they're at final, they've got a home advantage.
Yeah, because they've just got their fan bases there. Yeah.
But generally, this is the reason. So the guidelines that Metal to the Masses give you is when it comes to the final, there's someone from Bloodstock that judges.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That's so that's it then. So the crowd doesn't get to.
There's no crowd vote. So even if they get the biggest crowd reaction because it's a home advantage or whatever, it's going to be down to
the judges.
Is that what actually drove that? As in, like, just to make it fair with all the regional stuff and
maybe, I don't know. You'd have to ask Simon, to be honest, on that. But I mean, it would make sense. I mean, Bloodstock's been going for a long time now. So what, 27 years or something? I can't remember.
I remember it first starting.
I used to be in a small indoor venue.
I remember
one day thing, wasn't it?
This was it.
And then it became the indoor and the outdoor one, like as a two-day thing. And then it was like become what it is now.
Exactly that. So I would imagine over the years they've worked it out. They've probably had to better trial and error what works, what doesn't, to what it is now.
Such a cool idea, though.
I think
I've only recently heard about it, but like it's such a good opportunity for the bands.
Oh, 100%.
Like, and also just the local communities. Like everything about it supports local. Like you're getting local bands up and coming. Like you're giving them the chance. It's
Bloodstock has become. I mean, in my opinion, this is my opinion. People might disagree with me, but Bloodstock's the backbone of the metal scene in the UK.
It is, absolutely.
Like, it's absolutely the backbone of the metal scene in the UK because there's 4 stages. Hold on, is that right? 4
Sophie,
stages.
Main, Jaeger, and New Blood.
So there's 4 stages, and 3 of those 4 stages are all underground bands.
They're not like big mainstream. It's not loads of bands pulled in from outside of the UK.
In fact, this year is probably the biggest year they have.
Like
having Gojira there, that's pretty insane. Having Machine Head there, it is quite a big lineup this year.
Absolutely, and it gives these underground bands a chance to say, I played with Gojira.
Absolutely.
I was the same lineup as Gojira.
And here's the T-shirt. Look, there we are.
Exactly. Well, that's it. I mean, I've got a couple of T-shirts now with Mortishead on it, and at the top of it is Judas Priest.
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
Do you know what I mean? So, if we never achieve anything else.
That's it. I'd give my right arm for a band that I was in just to be able to go, oh, look at this.
As long as they get the spelling right.
Exactly, poor old Swarms. So we met them, they're from Newcastle, they won their Newcastle one last year, and I was chatting to one of the lead singer and he was going, and then I was at this gig and I was looking, he's like, he's wearing a Bloodstock hoodie from our year, and I looked down and they spelt it wrong. They spelled it wasn't Swarm, what he said, they spelt it as like Swams or something like that. So they're all over the Bloodstock merch with the wrong name. It's so
that's got to be a little dagger, isn't it?
I love it.
The first year we played, we were literally the bottom right corner.
Like
literally the last band on the T-shirt.
Nice.
But that made us easy to find.
Oh, true. Bottom right corner, there we are.
Either top right, top middle, top left, or bottom left. That was brilliant, bottom right. So
what was it like to play Bloodstock? The first time, at least, as a new band coming through. And
both times, absolutely terrifying. Like no good joke. Like I do get nervous before I play, but I can keep it in check generally. I was proper nervous. Like, funnily enough, the second time we played, and we were playing on the Sophie stage, which is,
the big blue tent.
Yeah, exactly. That's a big stage, and a lot of people in there as well. Because luckily enough, the gods were on our side, and it started absolutely pissing it.
Yes.
So everyone
come in the tent. Come in the tent.
And we were clashing with another big Bristol band whose name escapes me. That's terrible. Psy-Keeler played for them.
Deprivation?
No. Big.
Big. Oh.
Onslaught.
Thank you very much. So Onslaught were on at the same time as I was on the main stage. So we're like, we're not going to compete with Onslaught, and all the Bristol crowd are going to go and see Onslaught. But luckily enough, pushing it down, so everybody descended. So I'm looking out. It's like
several thousand people.
Who goes the bigger band now?
But absolutely shiting myself. Absolutely shiting myself. The thing is, like, obviously the adrenaline's going. So, and adrenaline does weird things to you. Really, really. That's a powerful drug.
It is.
Powerful drug. So we've got a few. Like, we are, I suppose, what you call a heavy groove industrial, whatever.
Yep.
So we've got a lot of electronic stuff, like, you know, we've got you know, things in there which are, you know, intro tracks that are pre-made sort of thing, so slips, triggers, all that kind of stuff. Nick, and he started off one of the tracks, which starts off with like a kind of I don't know, like a drum and bass kind of bass, like that. And to me, and everyone else in the band as well, they said the same thing. It sounded really, really slow.
Yeah, because your adrenaline's going and you're like, everything needs to be faster.
And we all came off the stage and said, Nick, what's wrong with your gear? Have you got like the tempo set wrong on your like DAWs or something? Because it's like that was so slow. And I consciously went, right, I'm going to have to speed this up.
But then everyone else sped up.
So everyone else sped up. Then we recorded that entire set. You can find it on YouTube. I'd encourage you not to. Right. But anyway, we recorded that entire set. It is on YouTube. It's on Bloodstock's YouTube.
There you go, listeners and watchers, go check it out.
And when we were listening back to it for the first time, when we seen it, we were like, holy shit, it was normal. It was right. It was absolutely right. It was our adrenaline made us hear it.
Been
slow.
there, done that. Yeah, exactly. So I was talking to you about that, wasn't I?
Yeah.
I was talking to you about that. Yeah, it's just like when you first, especially if you're nervous. Exactly that. I've had that. I was in a grindcore band, and God, you know, grindcore's fast enough as it is, and we were so nervous. I think it was the second gig we had, but weirdly we had a lot of people there. And just about it's just like even we finished our set, we had like 8 minutes left.
No more songs, we're done.
No.
See, I had the same but opposite when I was in a doom metal band. So we were purposely.
You went so slow.
No. We wanted to speed up. but we knew that we would do it because everybody does. So we would have like the drummer would have a track in her ears to be like, you know, staying at 50 BPM so that we don't double it.
That's real, I can hear this. In terms of, run us through the kind of behind the scenes, if you don't mind. So, next year, for instance, I'm guessing we've nothing planned for it yet. Heaps. Whoops. What goes into it? Like where do you start? What do you do?
Well, Nick does most of the organisation from that point of view. I tend to do the on the night stuff, if that makes sense. But generally, what we do is we put out feelers on our Facebook and socials and just say, look, we're now open for entries to Metal to the Masses for the following year. People send us their basically their media pack, whatever, their links, all that kind of stuff.
Demos and things.
Demos, you name it. Like what you would send to any promoter that you want for a gig, basically. Send us that. And then we work it all out. We get in contact with the bands, ask them when they're free, all that kind of stuff. We let them know, get in touch with the venue, get in touch with Exchange, get it booked up. So we know generally with how many heats we can get booked with the Exchange and semi-final and final, how many bands we can fit into that time scale. So there's that sort of set amount of places. Some years we've had to turn bands away. Other years we've struggled to fill the slots. It's really weird. And then other years again it's been absolutely fine. It's all fallen into place with a very little effort.
So what do you do when it's oversubscribed? How do you whittle it down?
Good question. Generally, it will come down to availability anyway.
Right.
So it usually never. I don't think it's ever come down to you're not that good. Sorry, we don't want you. It's never come
having
down
to
to
make an actual like Sophie's choice about like
exactly. We've never had to do that
well,
as far as I'm aware. So it's mostly been down to these are the dates. Can you make them? And then somebody will say, no, we can't do that, we can't do that. And then I'll say, sorry, but we can't fit you in any other way.
Does that include the 3 week, I don't know, is it an official rule, of the can't play either side of when you're playing the heats and stuff?
So we've basically got the same thing as any other promoter in Bristol. It's not, and it's not because I know people get a bit funny about it. It's not because we're trying to stop people playing, stop people. It's not that. It's not about that. It's just good band etiquette. It's because of your promoters. They're not. Yes, I'm sure they do it for the love of it. But a lot of promoters do this as their livelihood. So they need to know they're going to get enough people through the door.
True.
And the whole thing about Bloodstock is actually not just about getting you to Bloodstock. It's also about helping you learn how to be a professional. So things like
and network with other bands,
network with other
you're
bands.
going to pick up fans by doing the Metal to Masses.
Learn band etiquette. You know what I mean? All that kind of stuff.
Stay there and watch the bands.
Yeah,
and
stay there and watch the other bands. Make sure that you're on time. All these kind of
you're
things.
off stage on time.
Because this is one of the things that we say in our band briefings is like, these are the changeover times. This is what you've got. You've got to stick to it, and we're going to be less strict about it than Bloodstock are.
Yeah,
Bloodstock is a
they'll cut you off and off you go.
Machine. Like if you are running over time, they'll cut your song halfway through and say get off the stage.
Yeah,
and
which is fair because.
And now I don't think Bloodstock would do this to an underground band. They may do, I don't know, but technically they can fine you for it.
No.
So
any festival can. There's in the contract.
If you go to any major festival, if you like whether it be Download, whether it be Bloodstock, any other major, it's in the terms and conditions of you being booked. It's in the business contract because it is a business contract at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And it will say in there if you run over time, you could potentially be fined X amount.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And that's just normal practice in the music industry at that level. Yeah. So we won't do that at Metal to the Masses level, but it's about preparing you for that.
Believe you me, when I used to book the gigs here years over a decade ago at this point, but believe you me, there was a few times I was there going, I wish I could find some of these bands for fucking God damn it. 15 minutes over, fucking get off the stage.
Yeah. What do you think of the kind of... Well, this year I thought was quite an odd year, and I don't know if it's been the same every other year, but the styles of bands, like we've mentioned in a few more episodes, it's a very eclectic mix.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like Deftones is a huge influence in a lot of these bands,
a lot of these younger bands.
plus other extreme things.
Yeah, big time. I've thought that this year as well. It's sort of like ethereal kind of soaring vocals with I have noticed that this year as well. Like there's one of the bands that I won't mention who they were. They'll probably figure out who they are from what I'm about to say. But there's one of the bands in there. Me and one of the other judges couldn't remember what they were called when we were talking about them in the judging. But we referred to them as the Deftones Crazy Fist Band.
I think I know what it is.
I think I know that as well.
So it was like the Deftones 36 Crazy Fist Band. That one. That's what we were talking about. There definitely seems to be a big influence. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I've noticed I don't know how old you guys are, but I'm 30 now.
38, so...
Yeah, so we're similar age,
36,
right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So, I've noticed kids are dressing like I used to dress when I was 13.
Yes.
The baggy shorts are back.
It's back.
3/4 lengths. I've even seen some frosted tips.
Yeah.
It's happening. We're back.
Does that mean that they're all listening to the same music again?
Deftones are possibly bigger now than they were back when we were listening to them.
Even new metal is though. I've seen Limp Bizkit and Korn on small stages, and now they're headlining.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And the kids are walking
That's not classic metal though.
And I keep on seeing these kids, and they're and you can tell that to them it's I've managed to get hold of a vintage t-shirt, but they're wearing Slipknot t-shirts that I remember, System of a Down t-shirts that I remember,
still having a box somewhere.
Probably,
exactly.
And to them it's I've managed to get hold of an original, Mushroom People System of a Down t-shirt, and I'm there going, I owned 3 of those.
I saw it live, you asshole.
No.
But I get it in the tattooing as well. Honestly, I talk to a lot of these student kids that come in when I tattoo them, and you're exactly right. It is back. It's the new metal thing's back. They're all listening to.
The tattoos of the time are back as well. Tramp stamps,
Tramp stamps. The tribal's back.
Except tribal's called what is it? Neo-Sigilism
now, because the kids have to rename it something to make it not. It's 90s tribal. It's 90s tribal. It's fine. It's okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
There it is.
But 100%. But so those influences are really interesting. But so definitely with a lot of the younger kind of bands, I've noticed that I'm this Deftones. And it'll be Deftones and one other thing. That's the bit difference.
With a bit of metalcore thrown in. So you have a staccato breakdown after a sort of ethereal, chilled out, almost hip hop-esque beat. You know what I mean? And long may it continue. I love it.
Yeah, no, it's great. I'm enjoying it.
Do you get to go to the other heats around the place? Is there a similar kind of resurgence, I'd say?
Yeah, so we quite often go over to the Wales one,
nice.
and then down to the one, Somerset, I think it's the Somerset one as well, every now and then. I was up at the Edinburgh final a couple of weeks ago, met Simon there, and I didn't help him with the judging, but certainly listen to his judging among some of the bands. And it's all really good. I mean, what we do as well, and we encourage all the other bands that win Metal to the Masses, is that is an open door for you to now go and be a headliner at all the other ones. So what we did is, like, straight after playing Bloodstock, is we went and headlined the Liverpool one and the Swindon one, because they want previous Bloodstock bands to headline their semis and their heats and their finals and all that kind of stuff.
But it's also good to switch it around a bit, like get the Liverpool winners down here, you guys go up there, and somebody goes and plays Newcastle, and maybe you get gigs in cities that you wouldn't normally have a foot in the door, right?
So we had Convey last week, who won the Gloucester one, so they were our headliners. We always encourage them to do that. So we do get involved, and we all meet up at Bloodstock as well and have a big group photo. So it's good.
That's cool. I like it.
Do you automatically get a ticket then?
Yes.
Awesome. VIP?
That is one of the perks. One of the perks of doing the Metal to the Masses things is that we do get to go to Bloodstock. So.
That's pretty badass. Yeah. That's a reason to do it anyway.
Yeah, it's alright. I've not paid for Bloodstock since 2015. When I
played there.
Yeah, in fact, I didn't pay for it in 2015. I've not paid for Bloodstock since 2014.
10 years.
So not too bad.
Yeah. I guess we should get into a bit of the meat and potatoes of like asking you a little bit like about how like Metal to the Masses works.
Yeah.
Like how does it work from your end? Like, you know, like obviously we talked a bit about kind of you booking the actual bands and stuff and all that, but like how does like, you know, the voting work, and how does this, because this is what we noticed is like a lot of what we've talked about where we kind of have gotten things wrong or whatever is because obviously like even the bands don't fully know everything sometimes, so when we chat to them, they tell us one thing, then another band will tell us a different thing and that kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean? So do you want to run us through like just how like basically it just works?
Yeah. So in the early stages, what we do is a percentage on the crowd vote and a percentage on the judge vote.
Yeah.
So that means that basically if a band comes with loads of people, they're pretty much guaranteeing themselves a place in the next round, right? But what it also means is that if they're a brand new band and they don't have enough following yet, but they are really good, the judges will pick up on it, and they'll have a chance to get through. Do you see what I mean?
So it's the crowd vote is because you brought enough people, you're getting through anyway. But then the judges want us to not have that, basically.
Exactly. You'd like to think that if you're a half decent band, you'll
have some people there.
You're going to bring the people with you. You know what I mean? I mean, there are circumstances, and you can't avoid this really, where some not so great bands have managed to bring a lot of people, but eventually again
it comes down to the judges very at the end. So it's like, you know,
so it works on a sliding scale. So the further you get through the competition, the more it becomes down to the judges rather than the crowd vote.
And then the final is fully judges, right?
Exactly. So the final is 100% down to one or two individuals generally.
Cool.
So usually somebody from Bloodstock. So whether that be Simon or one of the other compares or the crew that work with Bloodstock.
That's really cool that they actually come for the finals and stuff. I really like that. That's cool.
Well, it's Simon Hall's baby. It's his thing. He loves it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he's really invested in it.
What a crap job, having to go around and pick the best of the best to play at the festival that you're booking. Oh no.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not too bad at all. But so that's how it works. So it'll be a percentage on crowd vote, a percentage on judges vote, and then that will be sort of it'll be like 70-30 in the first round, 50-50 in the second round, 100% judges in the final round.
So could we ask you a bit about the judging criteria then? Because for me, when I was there, and obviously you get the little token and you get to put it in, I was like, I really enjoyed that particular band. And then my next question was, could I see them playing Bloodstock, and would I go see them at Bloodstock? And sometimes that swayed my vote. So does that kind of come into it for you?
And that's good to hear. That's good to hear, because obviously we do get worried about, are people are just going to come and vote for the band that they they've come to see. We know for a fact that people change their vote,
because you're stood on the stage watching people going,
coming wearing the t-shirt of the band that's competing and putting their ticket in a different band's bucket.
I'm guilty of that.
They genuinely do. So it works. It must work. You know, it definitely does work. So people are judging it on the quality, because at the end, the good thing about that method of voting as well, the way we've done it, and other places do it differently, but the way we do it is that it's like a ballot box. You are the only person who knows which cup you've put your ticket in. And I stand there to make sure that the other bands aren't watching.
Right, not pressuring people by sitting there going, who are you voting for?
Exactly.
Who are you voting for?
Just to check there's no funny business going on, but I watch the votes coming in. So that's good to hear. That's good to hear. So
I think it's a cool system actually, because some of the bands you look at go, they're really good.
Yeah.
I couldn't see them at Bloodstock.
And do you know what? That's our, these are the conversations we have in the room in the judging as well.
Okay.
We say, like, they're a really, really good band, or they could be a really good band. And sometimes that can go for them or against them. It could be that needs to go back in the oven for a while. Sometimes it's like, I really want to see if they get better in the next round.
Right, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Get in the practice room, maybe a couple more.
These types of conversation happens. I mean, our journey was exactly the same. I'm not even joking, when we did our first round of Metal to the Masses, when we managed to get through our first heat, we came out of that, genuinely looked around at each other and went, how did we manage to get through that heat? We were like, how did we manage to get through that heat? Because those bands were so good. And like, they had... all of them we were a brand new band at that point as well, and all of those other bands had their image sorted. They had their sort of stage, the whole
presence,
package, not just standing up and playing their instruments really well.
The branding, I guess, if it is, that's not a term I like, but
everything, like stage attire, how they structured their sets, everything was really professional. So we learnt from that. We were lucky enough to get through, and it was because of we saw all that. We went, right, next round
we need to up our game.
We need to up our game. And by the end of the competition, when we won it, you wouldn't recognise us from the start to the finish.
Right.
Like, there's a photo of us like lined up at the first heat. I'm not joking. Every time I see this photo now, I cringe. I look like a hairdresser. I'm wearing this like scarf thing around my neck, and I've got my face painted, and it just looks weird. And it's just like a mishmash of nothing makes sense.
Right.
So one guy's wearing a band T-shirt, blah blah blah. By the end of it, we had our whole like military-esque uniform. By the end of it, we looked like a unified force. Like we had like this sort of almost Slipknot-esque brand about us, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's cool.
And that just went from heats to finals. We learned so much. And
I saw exactly the same with Mandragora and the semis.
Exactly.
So I saw them in their heat. I was like, they're good, but they need a bit more. And the semi-final, they blew me away. I was like, oh, they've brought it. Like, they had synced their headbang in there, like, I'm going to put my foot in monitor, and they all did it in sync. I was like, you've clearly been thinking about this.
All of that kind of stuff, it makes a difference. Like, I don't want to see statues in band T-shirts. Like, I genuinely don't, and it's not because you're not a good band. It's not that you don't play your instruments well. It's not that your songs aren't great. It's that there's actually a million other bands who are exactly the same as you. As in, they're great, they're good songwriters, they're good performers, they're good at their instruments. But what are you doing to separate yourself from them?
Absolutely.
So, as a judge, do you discuss this with the bands, and do you offer artist development to them, or do you kind of hope that they're going to look at the other bands and figure it out?
100%. We offer it, and we say, and we have conversations with them. We don't. We sort of encourage them to say, if you want some feedback, we're more than willing to give it. What we don't want to do is go up to them and go, this is why you're shit. Exactly. So we give them the opportunity. Some bands take it, some don't. And they tell you what, the ones that do generally come back and win it.
Right.
There you go, listeners.
There you go, bands.
The ones that take it on board do. Anyway, put it that way. And like, there's some bands that were plugging away at it for years before they won. And watching them progress and change and develop and
until the point where they won.
Fantastic. Absolutely.
That's really cool. It's really cool that you offer that support as well. And,
absolutely.
What else kind of comes to the judging criteria then? So, there must be a list, I guess, of they've done this really well, they've done this, or...
Well, I mean, it's not a formal list of anything. Because every band's different, I guess, and some bands bring different things, but there's the performance is obviously the main thing. But then there is also your behaviours as a band. Do you promote yourselves well? Do you run on time? What's your attitude like as well? Because sometimes if you could be the best band ever, but you come into it acting like absolute arseholes. To us, the sound guy, and all the other bands. Trust me, that's going to go against you.
And it should.
Absolutely should. There's there are some arrogant arseholes out there. Like they're really
true.
I bet that's the music industry, isn't it?
I
That's the
know,
entertainment industry.
I've dealt with a few myself over the years of
And you know what,
booking stuff. Yeah.
Some bands that works for is kind of their thing.
Yeah, but normally, you know what I say to that is normally with a band like that, let's say hypothetically, and they've got like that really classic, like arrogant lead singer, right? Who's fucking amazing, can sing everything, scream, do the whole 9 yards, stage presence just like leaking out of every pore. Maybe the guitarist is also arrogant as well, and the bass. But then it'll be something like the drummer or the bassist will be sound, because at least one of them has to be sound. Because like one of them will be the one that's
usually
like
the drummer, by the way.
It's true. I'm crazy on that. But like they'll be like the mum of the band. So while everyone else is being like a diva and this and has all the stage presence and all the amazing stuff, they're the one that's like, right guys, we need to set up now. Right guys, we need to do this now. Right guys, and they're the ones that are like, oh hey mate, how are you? To the hey, how are you doing? To the sound guy. You need at least, not all of you can be arrogant dickheads, because if you are, then that's it. You're all cooked. One of you has to be a decent person.
Well, look, some people might disagree with me on this, but at the end of the day, if you're running a band, essentially you do need to run it like a business.
Yeah,
it is a business though. If you went into an actual business and they were arrogant, you'd be like, I'm not going there again.
Yeah, exactly that. And it's about relationship management, and that it just comes down to basic things. Being polite.
Yeah, I think
thank you. Hello, how are you?
I think people mix that up with the problem is that when you say things like band should be run like a business, what then some people hear is like, oh, what you're saying is we have to corporatize everything that we're doing and corporatize our art. That's not. It's like it's more the structural stuff of like how you treat people and how like I have it's like trying to get practices organized, trying to get this. It's like right guys, like if we don't practice more than once a month. And you guys aren't practicing outside of the, I've had this with one of the bands I'm currently in. Yeah. I'm about to have a bit of a chat with them and just say, look, guys, if you guys aren't practicing any of the riffs at all outside of the practice room, and then we're only getting one practice in because we're all busy a month, we're going to be on stage by 2027. At this rate, it's just not going to happen.
And do you know what? It just shows that you're taking pride in what you do as well. Yeah,
I agree with that. Yeah.
If you treat it with if you treat other people, your promoters, your fellow bands with respect. Yeah. That's essentially
community, isn't it? It's a community,
It's a community.
100%. One thing you kind of mentioned there, that we've only seen a few of the bands do it. How much control do they have over sound, lighting?
Yeah.
Because I know it's obviously the same setup for them, but one of the things we spotted with one of the bands, I can't remember who it was, you spotted it. They basically changed the lighting colour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I was like, actually, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
And I assume everyone can do it, you just need to do it.
They basically just need to have the initiative to do it.
Yeah.
And if they can do it within the time scales that they've got set out, crack on.
Yeah.
I mean, this is one of the things that we feed back a lot. I mean, just going back to what we're saying, I don't want to see statues wearing band t-shirts.
Yeah.
Playing their instruments really well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you can bring something else, like there's several bands so far that have brought their own lighting rigs. They've, like you mentioned Mandragoria earlier, they brought all of their sort of their backdrop, their sort of flowery ivy stuff,
mic
all
stand,
over everything. They managed to get it set up, taken down within the time scale.
She was very proud of that as well.
All of that kind of stuff, and it looked amazing.
It did,
It looked amazing. And then who's the other band? Twin Skeletons. They brought their own sort of lighting rig.
That's where they had the blue lighting when they played. That makes
so they had strip lights at the back that changed colour and flashed with. They reacted to the tempo and all that kind of stuff.
That's really
See, all these things make a big difference.
Yeah.
And then I mentioned it actually when I was comparing at one of the other heats as well. Just simple things like there was one of the bands that had made sure their hair and their guitars matched.
Oh yeah, no, that was what was it? I keep on calling them like early Laguna Coil. That's what they sound like to me. It's kind of like early. Calvaria.
Yes, it is Calvaria. Calvaria. I mean, I don't think it was deliberate, but they have a unified look.
Yes,
they have stage.
They have the face paint. They have
the guitars, the green eye, and
they have stage. They have the stage attire. They have a look. Cool. They have. You know what I mean? I think that's important.
Yeah.
So other people can disagree with me on that. I mean, that's the whole thing about music. Music is obviously subjective.
Well, I think it's like you said. It's like you can still be like super punk, but give a shit about like the music that you're making. Do you know what I mean? It's like somebody who's in the likes their punk a lot as well. Like you see, it's like it just because you want to take the music and the band seriously doesn't mean you're like a corporate sellout, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think people mix that up sometimes as
It
well.
could also be an air of laziness could come across
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
Like, oh yeah, we're punks, we don't care. Well, actually, you need to care a little bit.
Yeah.
It's fine to have that image,
Yeah.
but you know.
Yeah, totally. You know.
So,
Yeah.
I think we're running slightly behind time. It's currently 8 o'clock for you.
That's alright, man, that's fine.
You sure?
Yeah.
Stay for
that's
longer?
fine. Yeah,
Good.
sorry, no problem.
Good. Where else can we go? So we've gone through voting. What's your favourite band you've seen over the years? Because you've done it for nearly a decade now. What's your favourite?
In terms of competing bands?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a lot of those bands have now become friends now. So I mean,
Careful what you say.
yeah, very, very. That's a difficult question though, because a lot of them are awesome.
Okay, let's
They're all
simplify it. Do it per year if you can remember them per year.
Oh God, I can't do that.
That gives you 9 options.
No, not a chance. Not a chance. I could remember that. But
Okay, top 3 in no order.
top three. Top 3. Funnily enough, you're wearing their T-shirt. Body Harvest.
My late great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your late great. Exactly. So Big Jake. They were awesome. In fact, their bassist was also the Mortishead bassist.
Oh, Dan. Yeah.
So, I love Body Harvest. Embodiment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Embodiment guys now help with the judging as well.
Oh,
cool.
do they? That's
yeah,
really cool.
yeah. So they're regulars. They come to help with the judging. Third place. Oh God, that's a difficult one. But you know what? I actually really enjoyed Frog Lord, who won it last year.
They were great. I saw them the
Yeah.
night before the semis.
A bit different from all the other bands that we've had win it in the past.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're
They're
just-
kicking out though. They've got a beer now.
Yeah,
They've got
they're
beer.
fun.
I know they do have a beer.
They've got a beer now.
Only when they were playing at the Moor, because
Was
we
it?
branded the cans basically.
Oh, I thought they had their
They've got a
own.
sticker on a can of tenants.
Exactly.
Brilliant.
Amazing.
I like Frog Lord, they're quite fun.
Yeah, they are fun. They are fun. Definitely.
Did they have the same kind of show when they won it? As in, the guy comes out in the green mask and they're parading the frog
That's
around the
it.
place?
They had all of that nailed from day one.
Ah, cool.
Right, okay.
Absolutely.
Proper just hit the ground. They
Yeah,
already knew what they
exactly.
were doing.
They
hit the
had
ground.
they had their whole narrative thing going from day one. So it only just improved in terms of like the quality of their costumes and stuff got better throughout and all that kind of stuff. Funnily enough, when I was up at the Edinburgh final, there were people there with Frog Lord t-shirts on.
Nice.
So that's 400 miles away.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
So, and that's what Bloodstock's probably done for them, I would hope. Anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Should open doors.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
It's kind of its purpose.
Yeah, that is the idea about the whole thing.
That's really cool.
But like you say, if the bands don't win it, it's still going to do something for them.
You know what, that brings on to, because I loved the story when I went to the very first one of this year, the first heat, and you said, what was it? You said that obviously you guys won it in 2015, and you said that and you said, don't worry if you're a band that's lost tonight, because one of the other bands that competed in the 2015 one was Harriet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was just like, because I'm a massive Harriet fan, I was like, oh shit, really?
Yeah.
Like,
Look, Mortishead beat Harriet.
No.
But look at them.
I mean, definitely, they're
Who the fuck are
definitely...
Mortishead? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, those guys have gone from strength to strength, and they're awesome.
Yeah.
And they headlined one of our heats as well.
Oh,
one of our
nice.
semis or finals. I can't
That's
remember
really
which
cool.
as well. So
Yeah.
we've had them down, and they're awesome.
Yeah.
They've just got better and better and better.
Yeah.
Power to them. So like happy and proud of them as well.
Yeah.
As a sort of local group as well.
Yeah, exactly.
To
Yeah.
see how far
It's
they've
really
come,
nice.
they are just sick. They're
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah.
But I think, and that's important for the listeners and the watchers to kind of hear, is I just thought that was a really important message of like, look, maybe you enter a competition like Mail to the Masses, whatever it is, and you don't get through. Like, don't let that like dampen you. Like, you know, it's
Absolutely
just,
not, yeah.
It's
No,
a step
absolutely
in the journey of whatever the journey of
And
your band is.
and what it does is it puts your name on the radar. It
Exactly.
absolutely does.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, I just thought that was really cool.
There's loads of
Well,
notes.
quite, here we go. Tom's got his notes out. What we will do.
My famous notes, what was I going to say? Basically one more from me really. What's the future hold? I know you've kind of changed the rules up for the last 10 years, and you kind of made it, I think, very fair from what I've heard about the rules, and I think you've done a good job of it. Like, you're bringing in the crowd. Do you see it change in any way? Do you see it?
It depends. I mean, the thing is, what we have noticed is we're getting really, really big crowds.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Even
it
on
has-
Monday nights and stuff.
Even on Monday nights.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I've been to some other finals. I won't name them, obviously, but I've been to some other finals of Metal to the Masses in other cities, and their finals haven't been as well attended as our heats. And that's just, I don't know if that's testament to us or just the fact that the scene down here is really fucking good.
Yeah.
I think it's probably that. It's probably.
I think it's a bit of both.
I'd say it's a bit of
You
both.
should give yourself some credit. I think honestly, I think you run like a really tight ship, and I think that you've made it like a really like nice kind of. It's very inclusive, you know, in the sense of like in the different bands and stuff. And I think it's a good mix of like. Then you end up with a lot of different people from different. It's not like just the death metal fans or just the black metal fans or just the like hard rock fans showing up, because it's kind of, you know, keeps it all a lot more mixed up and stuff.
This is well, I mean, the thing, you know, potentially do we move to a bigger venue? Who knows? But I mean, the Exchange, like I say, look after us so well.
I mean, there's that, or I mean, they've just they're what is it? Just in the news about that they're maybe going back to the Croft.
Yeah, the Croft.
So,
I saw that. Them,
you know,
the Exchange is going back to the Croft.
Well, no, they're not.
No, they're reopening it.
They're reopening
the Croft, so they'll be at the Exchange and the Croft.
Oh, nice.
So,
which will be amazing.
So maybe we split it across the two just for a bit of different. Who knows? Well, I mean, we just need to think about that. Really.
Why did you have multiple venues the first few times?
We did, I think.
The Fleece used to do the finals.
So our final was in the Fleece.
Yeah.
I don't know if we did the final in the Fleece the following year. I honestly can't remember actually, but yeah, do we split it across another venues? I don't know. I mean, we'd always like to potentially, like say, it's been weird. Some years we've had enough bands. Some years we've had slightly too many bands. Some years we've had just the right amount of bands. I think if we get to the point where it's too many bands for us to.
Yeah,
if we're getting to the point where we're turning down lots
bands
of bands
like every year,
then we need to start thinking about
maybe another heat, maybe something, and then that needs to expand out a bit bigger. Yeah,
exactly.
That's totally fair.
I think the way we're doing it at the moment works.
Yeah,
and we get you know, so everything's balanced perfectly at the moment, really. I think, to be honest, in terms of size and manageability and all that kind of stuff.
And Exchange is a good venue.
Yeah, absolutely. And the sound is always excellent in there. Rowan, who's done the sound for most of it this year, is fantastic. And you know what? I've actually watched him become a better and better sound guy throughout the last couple of years as well. He's absolutely awesome. And he does loads of cool stuff. You know, there's a lot of sound guys out there, and I won't name any of them, that just sort of do the bare minimum.
You're on, there you go, play.
I've had a few run-ins with sound guys like that with different gigs and stuff.
Rowan will sit there doing snare bombs for bands, you know, without them even asking to have done it, and adding some you know, adding that sort of atmosphere for them. So he's really cool.
Does that depend on the relationship the band have with him?
Well, again,
that's all part of it. It's up to the own band. It's up to the band to do
Never
that.
be addicted to the sound guy.
That's always going to go in your favour. If you go and have a chat with the sound guy and, you know, build a relationship with him, say, by the way, this would be really cool if you could do this, no hassle if you can, but just saying that would be cool, and they go, then look, they've already given themselves something that another band has.
True,
because they've asked for it. So all these things, all the finer little details can make a big difference to your performance on the night. But I think what is good about Metal to the Masses from our point of view is that we do it because we are one of those bands.
Yeah.
It's not. We're not promoters. We don't do this any other time of the year.
No.
We just do Metal to the Masses because we want.
So you can properly put your focus on it as well.
This is it. Because we just want to support local bands. Because that's what drives us to do it. We want to see other bands, you know, from Bristol, be the next Harriet. You know what I mean? And all these kind of things. Be the next Onslaught. And then one day we can say.
We brought them up.
Put us on tour.
We got them there and we got the backstage pass, side stage. But no, it's just, you know, we just love being part of it. We do, and being able to support local bands. So, and I think putting that energy into it is what's made it fair. People like to come and do it. We very rarely get any criticism or anything. I mean, there's always the negative Nellies out there that'll say that you shouldn't be competing, or
but
some people have accused us of saying it's pay to play.
What?
We've never asked bands to pay to play. And what we did do in the early days is we said, here's a ticket allocation.
Right.
If you sell those tickets, we'll give you £1 of every single one of those ticket sales.
But that's pretty standard.
And that's what we said. But it was more about trying to teach them about the business side of it. It wasn't
to
about
sell some tickets.
And then people that's pay to play. It's like, no, it isn't, because there's a band over there that sold fuck all tickets and they're still playing tonight. That wasn't about that. It wasn't. So we stopped doing that. Just because of the backlash of it. But it's like, right, whatever. But we were just trying to do it to give some bands,
Yeah, but also give them a
like
bit
the
of money back
onus
and
to,
stuff. Yeah.
give them a bit.
This is
they
normal
can make
if
a bit
you
of
get
money
in
from it.
Yeah.
I mean, at the moment, the bands don't make any money from it.
Yeah.
And they're saying that was pay for play, and that was pay to play, where
Yeah.
they could make some money from it.
Yeah.
It was like,
I think
fair enough.
I think
Whatever.
the unfortunate thing you're always just going to have though is like any form of competition.
Yeah.
There's always just going to be those people that maybe lose out, don't do as well, or whatever,
Yeah,
that then
that's it.
decide to get negative about it. Basically,
Yeah,
do you know
there's
what I
always
mean?
going to
It'll
be
be-
those people that are, you
Yeah.
know, so underground that they're fucking in New Zealand.
Well, that's right. Like, once again, I've been around the punk scene long enough. I've been around those people. Yeah, yeah. Awesome.
I have to admit, I'm looking forward to the next heat as well.
Yeah,
8th of
yeah.
June.
Yeah. Semi-final 2, that is. Yeah.
Two of the bands I really liked are in there, so one of them is probably going out. How many is going through? 2 again? 3.
Three it should be, yeah.
So there'll be 6 in the final.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the idea. We may sometimes, this is never a definite, but sometimes if there is a standout band that doesn't get through, we might wild card them.
Oh yeah, we haven't asked about that.
Yeah.
It doesn't always happen, but if there is room there,
Yeah.
then we will do it. And if there's
Scar it.
and if there's no, I mean, like,
Yeah.
if there's no way we can
Yeah.
leave that band out, then
Yeah.
we'll try and.
That's
grab
really
them
cool.
somewhere.
Yeah. Because it's good to say that. Yeah, because I think that's another thing is like we weren't sure how that works. We're like, does
Yeah.
that happen every time?
No.
Or does that happen in the semis? Or like,
Yeah.
when does
And
that? happen?
sometimes it can be, so it could be that we just cannot see a world where it's fair that band didn't go through.
Yeah.
Other times it is purely down to, well, sometimes you get a band that gets through to the final that has to drop out.
Yeah.
It might be because you know something comes up for
Yeah.
them, family, work, whatever. You know, we're all human beings and it happens. So then we think, do you know what? That band, when we make a list of these bands that we go, that was shit having to knock them out. We do keep a list of those bands. And then we'll look at those bands, weigh them up, and then sort of run it past all the judges again and go, remember these guys, remember these? If you had to pick one of those to fill that empty slot,
Who would
which
it
one
be?
would it be?
Yeah.
And then we wildcard it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've got a second chance.
There's always
Potentially.
that. We do mention that, so we do, you guys won't know this, but we do a band brief before the doors open. We tell them how it works, and we do always say, look, there could be the chance of a wild card. It's not a definite, but don't lose heart. If you don't go through tonight, you might still have another chance. But,
How often does the wild card happen in? How many years have you done it?
do you know what? I don't know. I think we've used it probably 3 or 4 times, maybe.
That's alright,
out of all the years that we've done it.
Yeah.
Did the wild card ever win it after?
Oh, good question. I'm not sure actually. And you know what? I probably shouldn't give that away, even if I did know.
Yeah.
Pretty fair, yeah. Fair.
But yeah, I think there's definitely been occasions where the wild card has come very close to winning it.
Really?
Yeah.
Just like come back swinging, basically.
Yeah,
just like,
absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. Sometimes that's the rocket up the rush they need.
That's
Well, true, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so,
You'll be
yeah.
given a lifeline, so
Exactly.
use it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, maybe, I mean, a lot of the times, I suppose, the kind of similar thing that you get in like things like sports is you kind of all, you're like lost already. It like takes all the pressure off. Do you know what I mean? And then suddenly
Yeah,
everyone's
not
just
lose.
playing like, yes, have a good time. And then everyone's like, oh, these guys are brilliant.
How are we losing these guys? They're crap.
Oh, lovely. Yeah.
The wildcard side of it then, so it's not just based on time, because like there's loads of good bands that have already been eliminated this year,
Yeah.
and presumably the final is similar to the semis where it's 4 o'clock till 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you not just do earlier, get another band in? Or are
there
you kind of
has been
fixed in
occasions
times?
where we've had to do that. When in those occasions where we've had that wild card and we've gone, we can't not take them through. We've
Yeah.
had to talk to the exchange, say, can we start? You know,
An hour
half an
earlier.
hour earlier or whatever. So that has happened, yeah. Yeah.
So they are open to the idea of
Yeah.
supporting local.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. That's really
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love it. I kind of think I'm nearly out actually. I've gone through most of them. 4 pages of questions.
There you go.
Yeah.
No, but honestly, thank you so much for coming in. It's just really, really great because obviously
no
we've been
problem.
really enjoying doing this following the Metal to the Masses from the beginning, and then we're going to be there at Bloodstock at the end. So,
and we're recording an episode the day after we come back.
Fair play.
Are we?
Yeah.
Oh,
I wouldn't. I thought we were going to try and record
Do it while you're there.
Well, if we can, yeah.
Do it while you're there.
Yeah.
Because then you know what I mean, you're still steaming. And
Yeah.
the cat's flowing.
I think,
you would just your last one after Bloodstock, you'd just be sat.
No, you would just be sat in
silent. So yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think I shut up my liver.
Just got a clock. Just got a tick.
Yeah.
Talk.
What's going on?
Bloodstock was great. We've been filled with fire. I'm dying. So yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, no worries.
It's been a pleasure having you
Really
here.
appreciate it. Yeah.
And we'll see you at Bloodstock.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
Well,
See you at that and at the final.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
there's another semi-final coming.
Semi-final,
up.
Semi-final,
Have you
then
seen
final.
those?
2 more to go.
Yeah, 2 more. It's going to be awesome.
Nice man.
All right,
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So unfortunately, Rich had to leave us, but we will continue on with our usual banter and shit talking.
Soldier on!
We will. So I hope everyone enjoys that because that was really.
That's really informative. Hopefully, if you're a band looking to get into the Bristol Metal to the Masses, or maybe any metal to the masses, that's giving you some info about
what to do and the right things to do.
Yeah.
And also best to look to the rest of the bands competing.
Woo!
Yeah, so shall we jump in with some of the gigs we've been to?
Yeah.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Fuck's sake.
Tom, why can't you just put them there?
Well, but then I'm gonna do. I'll probably spill the pint to myself if I do that. So
We need a tally of how many times you dropped.
that's the second one and already
I know,
today.
yeah.
I definitely need to get like a fidget pin or something because I keep doing this and I think you can
You know
hear
what
it.
we're going to do is when we've got a year worth of videos, we're just going to comb back through it and do a Tom dropping stuff compilation.
On how many times I fall off the chair or something.
Yeah.
Well, the chair gives way under us.
Well, I think gig-wise, you've got to talk about, because it feels like it's been forever, but you need to talk about the first Metal to the Masses semi-final.
Yes, but before that, the day before, I went to see Froglord. Who
Froglord. We
last
just
year.
talked about.
Just mentioned them.
Just mentioned them.
So it was 3 bands playing in Moore. Love that place. Great place to go. Moore put on a Froglord beer, which was basically just a Moore beer that they rebranded, but it had a really cool label and stuff, which was very good.
Did you drink one?
Obviously.
How was it?
Yeah, it's fine. It was a Moore beer. So it's going to be good.
Did you keep the label?
No, I did consider it, but then I was like, I'll have too many if I keeping all the beer cans. Yeah, it was very cool. It was a good idea by Moore. I like that Moore keep doing that. Like they're just supporting managers, kind of going, that beer's ready. We'll just give it a different label. It's all good.
Yeah.
Sell it as your own. All good. But yeah, there was 3 bands on. So it was Kraken Waker, which is an amazing name. So they were like a stoner groove kind of band. I love them. They were absolutely fantastic. They were proper piss taken. They were from Newcastle, I think they said.
Oh, nice.
And this is the furthest down they've ever played. But they had a song called Space Bastard, and they're kind of looking at each other going on, this is really relevant now. It's about a rich man in space. So yeah, they were really good. They were.
I don't understand, Tom. Right, what Katy Perry did by going to space and Jeff Bezos' rocket was fix feminism.
Now everyone hates
Don't
this.
you understand? Feminism, guys, is done now. We don't need it anymore.
Oh, no, we don't.
Because 4 really, really, really rich women went to space for all of 5 seconds.
And
Yeah,
sang
they
a song.
fixed it for
And
us.
sang a song. She didn't even look out the window while they were in space because she was too busy looking at the camera singing the fucking song.
That's ridiculous.
I know. Anyway.
Anyway.
It's all been fixed now. Feminism's done. Don't need it anymore because it got fixed by Katy Perry in space.
Well, there you go. Anyway, so yeah, Kraken Waker were very good. I thoroughly enjoyed them. The last song they played, I don't know why, but I really got on with it. It was called Be Good, Get Good, or Give Up.
Oh, that's kind of, I can get behind that.
It's pretty good. They kick-ass symbols on their t-shirts and stuff, so obviously I bought one. It's kind of like a cool squid thing going everywhere, and they're really just good fun. Like, kind of hard to describe them. Kind of Alice in Chains-y-esque. They had that kind of rock side to them, but a bit more oomph, a bit more liveliness to them. And yeah, they were just really good fun. Warp Stormer were the second band. They were like a store in trash, and I missed them because I was buying beer. That's the downside of Moore, is they've got really good beer. And I'm like, what do I want? Oh, I like that. It's a band playing.
But you missed a whole band.
Yeah, that last like 30 seconds of them.
Yeah.
So anyway, sorry about that, Warp Stormer.
The fuck, you missed an entire set. It's like half an hour.
Well, yeah, but I was thirsty. And then the headliner was Froglord, and that was the reason that we went. So I didn't know him beforehand, but they were described as Amphibious Doom. So my mate messaged me. He was like, you want to go see them? Because I'm 100% going. Sure, why not? They were excellent, absolutely excellent. Like, it's gimmicky, but not over the top gimmicky.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
from what I've heard about them, it's like they've got the kind of weird, funny gimmick of they're all frogs and there's some weird narrative about frogs and like this frog lore. But then they kind of play it. Oh, sorry. But what I've heard about them is they play it straight.
They do, yeah.
They play it so it's not like ha tongue in cheek. We're dressing up as frogs. It's like, no, this is deadly serious.
Yeah.
We are the frog band.
It's instead of a mosh pit, it's a swamp pit.
Oh, nice.
There's in between songs. It took me a few songs to realise what they were doing, but now when they're tuning up and everything else kind of thing, we've discussed this before in previous ones. But one of the things they did, and I actually really liked it, is they had sounds of frogs like recorded as their like interlude track.
Background.
And it was just so subtle. You're like, is that a bunch of frogs? It's amazing.
And I'm near a pond.
Exactly. You're like, hang on.
Yeah.
And then they brought out like the cheapest statue they could from B&Q or B&M, wherever they got it, of a frog, and it was just like, hail the frog lord. It was like amazing. But yeah, their riffs and stuff were absolutely ace.
I think that's
what seeing them again.
One of the best ways to do it is if you've got a funny what is, let's be honest, a hilarious gimmick like that. But that's how you do it. Is you don't do it wink nudge like that. You do it like, no, this is the most serious.
We are living and breathing this because this is the Frog Lord.
The Frog Lord is actually the Frog Lord.
Come on with the frog.
Yeah, it was very good. It was quite an enjoyable show. I'm looking forward to seeing him at the. Is it the headline they're doing, or is
it is? Yeah, the final.
The final of Metal Masses
because they won the last one.
We'll
get to see them. We'll get to see them at the final. That'll be cool.
It'll be fun. I highly recommend everyone to come to that because it'll be fun. On Metal to the Masses, that was the next day. So semi-final number 1.
Yes.
So we had Oscaria, Into Obscurity, Mandragora, got it right this time, Twin Skeletons, Vulture God and Calvaria.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to switch to my phone because I made notes. I'm not going to go into the same detail that we did because if you want to hear about the bands, go on our other episodes where we've discussed them in great detail.
Yeah.
But
Twin Skeletons was the intro because they haven't, obviously, like, they were on the first one.
Yeah.
And I remember them going through, so I'll be interested to see what you kind of think about them. Because they were very, like, kind of hard rock, pretty recklessy kind of vibe.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
You didn't like them at all, did you?
Sorry.
Sorry, Twin. I like you, Twin Skeletons.
Personally, I'm not your audience.
Yeah. I think that's kind of my notes too, actually.
Hey, look, I liked you guys.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, anyway, moving on. First band, Oscaria, which obviously we were very happy to have seen the last time.
And voted for.
So, the notes are written down. We look very professional on stage, to good crowd interaction, so they really got involved with the crowd this time. Which is good. Struggled a bit because they were the opening act and it was the Bristol crowd on a Sunday and people were just like, which is a bit of a shame. I think if they're on a bit later they'd have a better crowd response.
Look, kind of, what we were just talking about, and stuff is, look, I've been the open. You've got to figure out a way, even if
you have to bring it in
even
first.
If you're a band on stage with instruments, you have to figure out a way to still. Get the crowd involved. Even if you're the first, you cannot get into your own head about being the first band.
It shouldn't make any difference.
Be good you just got to be your A game. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what time you're on. It doesn't matter how many people are watching you.
This kind of goes back to what Rich was saying about how you're at work. It's your job. It's your business.
Absolutely.
You've got to,
Yeah, you're on stage. It is. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Jen. It's that thing of you've come to entertain. Just because you're on earlier doesn't.
Or you're having a bad day, or
that you have to kind of put that aside. You have to, be able to do it. You have to be able to go I've had a really shit. Either learn. What you can do, which is actually can be quite cathartic, is you learn to funnel that. So you're having a really bad day. You're having a really bad time. Funnel that into playing. Don't make it a barrier. You use that, and then you bring that out on stage. But
I think they had a few technical difficulties on stage, which probably didn't help with the mindset. So the drums were slipping,
right?
Which slowed them down because
that's really. Surely that normally you just sandbag them. Probably.
Yeah, I don't know why it wasn't,
but
maybe then Jake had issues. Basically, because I think the guitar player stood in at one stage, so the entire bass cut out at one stage.
Yeah.
But they recovered well. The nerves can come through.
Your recovery is more important than the
absolutely.
Mistakes.
Mistakes happen. Shit goes wrong every now and again.
Oh, I've tripped over a fair few foot pedals in my time.
I would love to see that.
Or stamped on. I've turned off people's.
Oh, you're in tune now.
And fucking, crashed over. And that's why, kids at home, if you're a front person, it's better to be right at the front of the stage, or even better, just be off the stage.
Be on
That's
the
half
floor.
the time why I don't sing on stage anymore. Like, I sing off the stage because I can thrash around like a dying fish as much as I want, and I don't crash in or wreck anyone's gear.
Yeah. Totally agree. Next band was Into Obscurity. No.
Remind me about them again. Did we watch them?
No.
No, I think that's one of the ones we missed.
Yeah, I remember seeing them the first time.
No, that's the one that we went to.
Yes.
Yes.
Where I was like, they didn't look the part.
Yeah.
And for me, the clean vocals didn't work.
Yeah.
Same comment this time. I didn't get on with the clean
Still
vocals.
didn't fully.
The guttural stuff's really good, but when it goes
Yeah.
clean, it just didn't work for me.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same as last time. The guitar was too low, so that's, again, talk to the sound guy. Sort out the sound. Yeah. And I think they had issues again on stage because A, the drums were sliding, B, I think the monitors weren't working for him, or there was some issue because the bass player kept watching the rest of them, so he wasn't actually listening to what was in front of him.
Right.
So he was actually watching them play. I was like, alright, so there's clearly something going on stage that's throwing you a little bit. But, it's what I got from them was like, they're very good musicians, excellent musicians, but it didn't feel like they wanted it. Like, the singer at one stage, he just put his hands in his pockets. I was like,
that's never, it's not exactly.
It doesn't really scream, I want to play Bloodstock.
You're not Orange Cassidy. That's a wrestling reference for those of you at home.
Sounds like a redneck reference.
No, so he's a wrestler who his gimmick is he doesn't try to wrestle, so he comes on in just a pair of jeans with his hands in his pockets and sunglasses and does really slow crap. Like, but then his whole gimmick,
he loses.
He does a lot, but his whole gimmick is if he actually does try, he's like insanely good at wrestling.
Right.
He could just never be bothered to actually try and do anything. So he just strolls around the ring with his hands in his pockets, going like that, just nodding at people, like doing really slow crap chops at them. Yeah. Or like kicking them really softly in the leg. Whatever.
The beating of your life.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So it was a bit of a shame, and so I don't think they wanted it. It was a bit of a shame, but that's life. Mandragora with the next one. They absolutely brought it. I was like, they've clearly been practicing. Everything was synchronised from all of them headbanging in time to each other. Like, musically was excellent.
Yeah. I still actually haven't seen them. I've heard a lot about this band, not just from you guys, but like, remember when you first saw them, I was like, I've heard a lot about this band. They've played here in the Griffin before.
Yeah, they've got quite a following.
They've got a following. Like, I know a lot of people who really like them. So.
And in the first song, the lead singer jumped into the crowd and started a mosh pit.
There you go. See what I just say.
Yeah.
What I just say. Like, you know.
Flawless set. She got back up on stage afterwards, like, I shouldn't have done that in the first song.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
No, it was excellent. And as Rich pointed out as well, like the stage show is quite good. They have their own backdrop, the floral mic stands and stuff.
Good.
Like it's all. The show is they're
I'm looking for. I'm actually really. It's funny. I'm actually really looking forward to seeing them in the final.
Me too.
Because I missed them in the heat.
Got my vote now.
I missed them in the heat, and I've missed them in the semis. I'm actually really looking forward to it.
Next band was Twin Skeletons. I basically already covered them. I was like, it's a very clean band. Didn't feel like a Bloodstock band for me. They're very good.
I mean,
just
I can get that you guys don't. But I like them in the first heat. I mean, I get that maybe you could argue that they're a bit more of a download band than
absolutely.
a Bloodstock band, but
I
still thought they were really good.
Yeah, they're good musicians. It's it all just wasn't my.
What do you think, like music-wise? Because like I said, I kind of felt very kind of pretty recklessy, kind of hard rock kind of thing. Going
Absolutely,
on. Yeah. And that's not just because they've got a femme lead singer. That's definitely like the sound. Style was very similar.
And then the last one was Vulture God.
Love them.
Absolutely love them too, and they brought it. Like,
wait, were they headlining?
Yeah. No, wait, they weren't.
No,
Calvaria were.
Calvaria. Okay, that's what I was going to say because they headlined the last time. So they
they were
that we were at. Yeah.
The second spot from headline. Absolutely brought it. Sounds incredible.
You were at the one, but yes, you've seen them twice now. I love them. Talented. I think they're really good.
They got the crowd bouncing, moving. Yeah. They had a lot of fun playing. They did an awesome cover of Gojira because they basically Bloodstock sold out. Gojira's playing. Who has tickets to see Gojira? And half the people are like, whoa, they're like, we would love to see Gojira. So here's a song by him.
Yeah.
And they fucking aced it. It was really, really good. Yeah. It's right their style. I said in the comments that they're kind of Gojira-esque. And they do fantastic Bloodstock. I'd like to see them go through.
Yeah, I think their sound's really interesting. What do you think, Jen? You were.
What, Vulture God? No, I really enjoyed their set when I went to see them.
Yeah.
When was it?
The first heat that we saw,
Whatever heat it was. Yeah. No, they really brought it. They had a really good stage presence. No, I did enjoy them.
They upped their game majorly as well for this one. So
Really?
Great to
I
see
mean,
them
if
for
they've
the
upped their
finals.
game, I mean, they put on a really good performance
Absolutely.
last time.
Yeah.
So I think the final is going to be quite
It's going to be tough.
because two of those bands got through.
Yeah.
So Mandragora and Vulture God got through.
Yeah.
And the final band, Calvaria, they also got
So
through.
this is the band that I describe as the old school Laguna Coil-esque band.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Kind of.
sound-wise, I was like, yeah.
They were an odd band. I liked their stage presence. I liked that they were all the image all worked together.
Yeah,
The guitar player was crazy. He had like a green eye contact in.
Oh,
and,
cool.
They had like the leather set up, and it was all they all matched and it was all pretty cool. They had serious technical issues.
Really?
So they were using what's the pedal?
Because they had a bit of issues when we saw them. Remember, you could tell that their like click or backing went out, and you saw them.
Probably, we've seen so many.
But I definitely felt like they had some, because they obviously, I don't mean this in a bad way, guys, but obviously kind of rely quite heavily on
The tech.
like a lot of tech kind of backing stuff.
So yeah, this kind of sample pedal, I think it's called. I don't know what it is, but basically both guitars have been fed into it. You can control it from there. It completely cut out and failed numerous times throughout the set. So they were just playing away like there was nothing. It was like,
Really?
Okay.
What, you can't hear the guitar at all?
No, completely dead.
I mean, at least they kept playing though.
Yeah,
They
just keep
could
going.
have done with stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were fine. They were again, they were a bit kind of soft for my liking. They were musically
I
they're quite
like,
fast and technical, but
Yeah, I see. I quite like a bit of kind of, like I said, I like old school Laguna Coil, so I've
Yeah.
got a bit of time for that kind of stuff, really. So who won then?
so it was Calvaria, Vulture God, and Mandragora.
So basically, those three bands, right? Fair
So
enough.
that's the first round of the
Round of-
semi-finals.
Yeah, so they're all the finals. What do you think then about who did you vote for?
Who did I vote for? Vulture God in the end.
Vulture God, yeah. I mean,
I was torn
Yeah,
because I was
yeah.
actually going to go Mandragora.
Yeah.
And then it was like they brought enough people. I think they were
that's
probably
what I
getting
did.
through.
That's exactly what I did in the first heat. I was like, going to vote for Oscaria because I want them to go through.
Yeah.
But I was like, if it was on the best band that I enjoyed the most in the night, then I would have voted Vulture God because I actually genuinely really
Yeah.
like them. Really sorry, Cruelty Circuit. They're giving you a run for, I've been a very open and obviously
Not biased in the slightest.
completely biased Cruelty Circuit fangirl, and Vulture God are giving you a run for your money, so step it up.
Yeah, so we can see him in the finals.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun final because I'm hoping the Cruelty Circuit get through and hopefully Smilemore get through.
I mean, they've got to. Come on, Cruelty Circuit.
Yeah, I can't remember who's in the other one.
Who's in the next one? Should we do
I would-
some predictions?
I was
Yeah,
just going
that's
to do
good,
it.
yeah. So it's got to be Cruelty Circuit, Smilemore.
It's the 8th of June.
What was that? The punky band where she covered herself in
So
blood.
it's Buried in Bermuda, Disaster Clinic.
Buried in Bermuda. Shit.
So it's Cruelty Circuit, Buried in Bermuda, Disaster Clinic, Pirate Garrick, Monochrome, and Smilemore.
God, that's actually
that's
tough.
a tough lineup.
Because Pirate Garrick are that three-piece band where the drummer sings.
I saw them actually.
They're
Oh,
good.
that's so
They're really
I
good.
saw them recently.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're good.
Quite surprised.
They're good, aren't they? Kind of old school Dio, Black Sabbath.
I got your whole drummer singing thing though. She was very good at both.
She's amazing. I
I'd
know.
like to
I
see
just
her do
want
one or
to
the
see her
other.
do one or the other. Like, I just think that like one slightly hampers the other. I just think either she could be an amazing drummer, like genuinely amazing, or she could be an amazing singer.
I do agree,
get
yeah.
it. I get the gimmick. It's amazing that she can do both to the level that she does. But I just part of me kind of wishes that she just
It's
Well,
tough
I
to
mean,
say.
after talking to Rich earlier, hopefully they've had some sort of artist development help from the judges.
maybe.
You know.
Yeah. It'd be good. It'd be. I think for me with that lot, it's just like, look, I hate to use the term gimmick, but it is a bit of a gimmick, and it's just like, look, just you could be an amazing band. You don't need that gimmick. Like, just do one or the other. Get somebody else into.
I enjoyed it. Don't listen to it.
I know. Okay. You're fine. Don't listen to me. I'm a biased hater. I just love Cruelty Circuit. No, I'm joking.
So what are our predictions?
I mean, Cruelty Circuit, I have to go. I'm going to vote for Cruelty Circuit. I don't care. I'm sorry. I don't care. I love Cruelty Circuit.
We love you guys. You're awesome.
Yeah.
Smilemore, give them a good run as well.
Smilemore, I mean, look, I'd say this. Smilemore put on a really, really good show, and I feel like on the night Cruelty Circuit are really obviously going to go through, I might throw my vote Smilemore's way. Because, I love this guy.
I've seen the day,
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's tough because, loads of those bands are good. Like, they're all good.
It could be a wild card, you never know.
I mean, maybe in the final
Maybe,
thing, like you said, you never know. Yeah.
My
What do you
vote
guys
will be Cruelty Circuit, Disaster Clinic, and Smilemore.
Disaster Clinic are that punky one that was like
all the
where she
blood and-
covered herself
yeah.
in blood. Yeah, that is a band I'm into because they were really good and I really enjoyed them. I would love it if they've spent the last month really practicing.
Yeah.
If they've spent the last month really practicing and they hit that stage like really hard, that's then going to kind of make it even more difficult for me because they were already good and there were a few issues and you could tell they were a bit nervous. If they've managed to get over that and they practice more and their set's even tighter, that's going to push them even further.
Jen, predictions?
Well, my predictions are Cruelty Circuit's definitely going to go through. And then Buried in Bermuda, they did bring
They're
it and
really
they were
good.
very, very solid.
You haven't seen them yet, have you? Because that was the
haven't.
first one. They're really good.
But I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, for me, the people who are really bloodstock bands, in my opinion, are going to be Cruelty Circuit and Smilemore.
That's
Disaster Clinic are very, very good, but are they bloodstock? I don't
and
know.
same with Buried in
Same with
Bermuda.
Buried in
Agree with you
Bermuda, yeah.
completely. They arguably you can make the download case for those two bands.
Yeah.
They're a bit more maybe download bands
Friendly,
rather than bloodstock bands. I do agree with you completely, Jan.
Looking forward, I think that's going to be a good semi.
It's going to be a tough one, I think, as well.
I think so.
I think it's going to be a tough one. I think that's one of the ones I don't want to make bands nervous, but you can't afford to be having like mistakes and don't get in your own head about like if you're on first, guess what? You're
Rock out like you're going to die.
Yeah. This is it. It's hell for leather it the whole way through.
Totally agree. On the Cruelty Circuit thing, I'm going to just do a little drop now. We've been lucky enough to hear one of their new songs.
We have.
On this completely unbiased podcast.
Yeah.
Where Cruelty Circuit, the band, definitely don't send us their new songs to listen to ahead of
Feel
time.
for my Cruelty Circuit.
Feel for Yes, that is what this
That
podcast
sounds like
is.
porn.
Cruelty for my fire.
Cruelty for my fire.
Oh, there we go. Let Jeff come on again. Anyway, the song is absolutely excellent.
It's
Best one
great.
you've done.
Yeah.
Bollocks!
Oh, Jesus, nearly went off the chair as well.
Yeah, I've only hit a pint.
Just put it down there.
I can't read it. Anyway, as I was saying. Fucking
It's there.
Yeah.
Just look at it there.
bah.
Fucking hell.
Anyway, Cruelty Circuit song is fantastic.
It's great. What's it called again?
Binaural Illusions.
Binaural Illusions. Yeah.
Yeah, in my opinion, it's the best you've done so far. It's insane.
Yes.
It's heavy. Gutturals are in there. It's
Nasty.
cool.
And they're going to
It's
play it.
nasty
They said that
breakdown.
they're going to play it for the first time live at the semi-final, so that's going to be.
Can't wait.
Can't wait. It's going to be really good.
That will get the crowd hopping.
Don't do it again.
I have to. I need to read my notes. Right? Jesus.
So yeah, so good time at
Yes.
good time at the semi-final.
You've probably done one in between or one last night.
Oh yeah, I went to Electric Eel Shock.
You did?
On Saturday, so that would have been the past Saturday just gone. Yeah, it's one that we talked about before. So here at the Griffin, Electric Eel Shock, amazing, just really fun, crazy, kind of hard rock punk 3-piece from Japan. John knows them really well. They played here. It's kind of become a bit of a thing.
They custom
play
t-shirt, didn't
here. Yeah, he made a custom T-shirt for them. They do the custom poster thing. But anyway, I missed the first band. I'll be honest. It was so the first band had to drop out. They got replaced by Raw at the Meteor. I'm really sorry, guys. I'd had a really long day tattooing at work, so I got in. I just really needed to have like a pint.
That's fair.
Before I went up to the gig straight away. So I missed you guys. Sorry about that, but I heard you were very good. Then guess who I saw? Guess who the main support was? Kamikaze Test Pilots, who were fucking excellent. The best way I could is more ska System of a Down.
Yeah.
Or that's the only way I can really describe them as a band. They were
it's exactly the same. It's like the System of a Down elements to them, but there's more.
Almost more kind of ska, two-tone,
really
reggae kind of vibe in there. Really fun, really tight. I didn't know they're from Zimbabwe as well. Yeah, that's why John, because John was born in Zimbabwe too, wasn't he? So they're from Zimbabwe.
That's a long way to come.
Well, no, I don't. I'm guessing they live in the UK now. Yeah, I don't think they're just popping over from Zimbabwe to be the main support on a Griffin show for no reason. But really good. I'm guessing they probably live somewhere around here.
Yeah.
But yeah, really good. Really enjoyed them a lot. I'd happily watch them again. And then Electric Eel Shock. They're so funny. they're just great. The drummer takes off all his clothes and plays naked with a very, very
Fully
long
naked.
sock. He has a very, very, very long gym sock over his cock, which he flings around quite a lot.
Love it.
Yeah, they just have really good patter, and it's especially for a band that like English is very obviously not their first language.
Yeah.
They are hilariously funny. Like, lots of jokes. So the last time he had to stand on because they're all very short. The last time he had to stand on one of the monitors. This time,
Did you
John
feel
did.
tall?
I mean, hey, look, when I lived in Japan for a year, my 5'5" ass felt very, I was like, oh,
Towering over
yeah,
everyone.
like, oh, this is like, it was like, well, it's more like I was like average to tall height.
Yeah.
Like that's more what it was. But so John had built him like a special box to stand on, like the lead singer guitar, so he could see him over the crowd. But it was sold out. It's really fun. Hot as fuck though, but like really fun. I mean, really good time. I mean, Electric Eel Shock are great. They've kind of become a bit of a Bristol institution in the sense of like they come and play the Griffin, and John, they're really good mates.
How do you
with them
describe
as
their
well.
style?
Like, if anything, funny enough, like maybe a band that people don't know, but like even though they kind of do loads of songs about metal and about being in metal, they're more like kind of not pop punk, but like kind of harder punk, kind of like Dinosaur Pile Up. You ever listened to Dinosaur Pile Up?
No.
Very good band. I always recommend. But I would say Electric Eel Shock are very much like the Japanese Dinosaur Pile Up. Like they're really
Probably
fun.
doesn't help many people.
No, but it's like it's the weird thing is they do songs about metal, but they're playing like kind of thrashy skater punk rather than like actual metal and stuff, But yeah, they're just really funny. They do go into some really heavy bits. Vocals are great. The drummer's insane. He plays with 2 drumsticks in his hands, so he puts them through his fingers, and he plays with 2 in each hand.
2 in each hand.
He plays with 2 in each hand.
That's pretty cool.
So he has them like through his fingers, and he plays the drums like that. Yeah, they're fucking hilarious. Yeah, I love Electric Eel Shock. The second time I've seen them, it kind of seems to become a thing now that they play once a year at the Griffin. So next time you should definitely come because it's a really good gig. It's really funny. They're a great band. A lot of fun.
Good.
Yeah, couldn't recommend them all.
Jen, you been in any others other than one last night?
I don't think so. We've not been in shows.
Don't look at me. Yeah.
I'm not your social diary.
Yeah.
Oh, my social diary. Not that I can remember.
Do you want to lead us for the one we did last night?
No,
Yeah.
I think you could do that.
No, go on, Jen. Go on, Jen, you're up.
So we're a little bit out of sync because we normally record on a Tuesday, and then we realised that John had a gig on yesterday, so it's now Wednesday. It'll be Friday when you hear this, so it makes no difference. But yes, there was a
Listeners just going, we don't care.
yeah, fucking say the band names already. So yes, it was a grindcore night. The bands were Corrupto, Accelerated Mutation, and Baron being the headliner.
Yeah. As you can see, I'm wearing their
Yes, extra large hoodie.
yeah.
You lunatic in this heat.
I love it.
Jen, see you soon.
So first band, Corrupto, I really enjoyed them.
So did I.
I don't, but also I got a little bit drunk yesterday, so I don't completely remember what happened.
That is not just me. So I'll fill in the gaps for you.
Thank you.
3-piece band. They had a Flying V bass,
They did,
which I don't think I've ever seen in my life before.
Have you not?
No, I've always seen a Flying V guitar. I have one. I have it tattooed on me, but I've never seen the bass version. It's really cool. The insane vocals. He had such deep, guttural vocals.
Yeah.
And
they mixed it
dude's
up,
a
didn't they?
unit.
Because one of them was doing the higher ones,
Yeah.
and then the other guy was doing the lower ones, which is, yeah.
It was good. The vocals I couldn't.
Their
fall
drummer
for.
is insane as well.
I was just going to say, the
Jesus
drummer was
Christ.
insane, having the time of his life, but he was clearly on some kind of medical
Yeah, we
thing.
don't know, we don't want to obviously speculate too much, but it seems, I don't know what's going on.
heart monitor or
A
something.
heart monitor or
Yeah,
an IV
it's
for
called
it.
a line.
Yeah.
So it's basically a medical device that goes straight into your bloodstream when you've got to have a lot of things injected rather than keep going through your arms.
Yeah.
And he was still playing drums like lunatic.
And then spend the rest of the gig at the front.
Yeah,
Had-
playing the drums.
So,
I was watching him doing all the blast beats and
You
stuff.
are cool as fuck.
Yeah, absolutely. And an amazing drummer.
Yeah.
Very, very good. Thoroughly liked him. The guitar tone kind of reminded me a little bit of Toxic Holocaust.
Yeah.
It was that
Yeah, I
kind
can
of
see
fuzzy,
that.
kind of quick
Yeah,
guitar,
yeah,
but not
like-
too complicated.
Yeah.
Overall, I really enjoyed him. I thought it was a kick-ass gig, to be fair. It's a shame I didn't get talking to them after. I'd like to have got to talk to them a little bit. In fact, I think they wanted to too, but just life got in the way, I guess. But anyway, what did you think?
I thought they were great. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Just like more It's interesting because I kind of talk about that a bit more as we talk about the gig, but like the three bands kind of for me encompassed a lot of the kind of spectrum of grindcore, as a whole, as a genre, they
subgenre.
Yeah, so I'd say that those guys for me definitely kind of more the somewhat like I guess D-beat kind of slightly crust punky, slightly thrashy kind of end of it for me. So yeah, I just really enjoyed them a lot. I thought they were really good.
I ended up following them on Spotify, which is always a good sign.
Nice.
They had 20 monthly listeners, now you have 21.
Hey!
Hopefully you had a few more after last night, you deserved it.
Yeah.
Second band were Accelerated Mutation.
Yes.
Great name.
These guys, I mean, I loved it. This is proper, like, these guys were the, like, punk end of grindcore.
Punk, no fucks given kind
Punks,
of
no fucks. And that's the whole point. Grindcore was born out of the punk scene and the hardcore scene of, like, this, we just want to make, it's why the symbol for grindcore is always the musical note either crossed out or broken in half. Because the idea is, it's like, no fucks given, we make as much noise as possible, the vocals are all horrible, like, it's just extreme. Do you know what I mean? In that way. And so, yeah, 3-piece, no bassist, guitarist with no shoes on.
I wouldn't want to have no shoes on this floor. There's a lot of sweat and blood and tears and on this floor.
I'm sure, I mean, if you always play shoeless, I'm sure he's built up a resistance to, whatever. Old school, like, punk vocals, more like kind of screeching, like, stuff.
Yeah, I don't think it went with the actual aggression of the music.
No. I feel like it was a bit turned down. That's the only thing, I don't know why, like, his vocals.
The guitar was turned down as well.
Yeah.
You could basically only hear the blast beats of the drum.
Yeah, so maybe just a couple of little issues there of needing to turn up certain things. But I really enjoyed them. For me, it's like that old school, like, I grew up on that stuff, like, DIY grindcore, DIY hardcore punk, going to, what the fuck was that venue that was a really grotty venue on? I think I've talked about it on the podcast before, up on Old Market. There used to be a venue up there. Now it's called something like 44s or 42s or something. It's like a kind of more posh bar. It's been gone for years, but basically that was like the fucking drudgy fucking venue. Go in, your feet would stick to the floor, like, and you
dust everywhere.
Yeah, and I just, all the fucking old school, like, punk grindcore crowd were just in there all the time, and you just go and watch like a fucking bunch of bands just playing through shit monitors, like bands from all over, like, you have bands from all over the, like, just touring grindcore and fucking crust bands just going. So for me, I always just have this
the soft spot for it.
The soft spot for this really, like, gnarly, nasty. I really like them.
I admit I didn't think the combo of the clean vocals where he didn't give a shit with the really quick, more death metal guitar, and then the drums are too similar. It was just blast beats the whole time. And
blast beats forever. What do you think, Jan?
I remember enjoying them. Couldn't tell you what they sounded like, but I had a good time.
Excellent.
Jen's 5-star
review there.
Yeah, Jen's resting band face. Do
you know what? That's why I had a few beers yesterday, because you keep making fun of my resting band face.
So for the...
But I'm like, if I have a couple more beers, then I'll look less miserable. I'm not miserable. I'm just watching you.
Honestly. So listeners...
From the bushes.
Listeners at home, here's what happens, right? Jen has what I've dubbed resting band face, where I'm not joking, I've been to loads of gigs with Jen, and I'll look to the side, and Jen is just like the most bored, annoyed look, just like completely slack faced, just like it's blank just stare at the crowd. It's not blank staring at bands, and in my head I'm going, oh my god, Jen's so bored. Jen's bored as fuck. Jen's hating this, and then the band will finish, and Jen will turn to me and go, they're amazing. And I'm like, what's going? Just staring at them completely blank faced, just like for the watchers on the YouTube, just like this.
It's not.
And then just be like, they were amazing. I loved every bit of it. It's just like, what?
Moving on.
Yeah.
Baron were the headliner.
They were great. Belgium's finest.
They were, yeah. 3-piece from Belgium. I would say, kind of on your scale, these guys were on the extreme side of the
like the more extreme metal end of grindcore, yeah.
But I think it worked really
well.
All blended well.
They were great. They were so tight. They were so tight as a band. Oh my god.
The drummer and the guitar player were absolutely in sync with each other.
Smashing it.
The bassist didn't stop whirlwinding, which I was very impressed at. because he was playing really quick and really technical,
Yeah.
and he didn't once look at his fretboard.
No.
He didn't miss a beat.
It was just, and his long hair just going round and round and round and round like the whole time.
What a great show. Yeah, they had really cool merch. I was just going to say, really cool merch.
It says chainsaw grind on the back, so I had to get it. I was like, yeah.
It looked cool. The merch was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was probably, about 20 people, 30 people? It wasn't definitely not sold out.
Yeah, and it was a Tuesday night, but that's good for a Tuesday night, let's be honest. You know,
Yeah, they had fun.
Quite a few people did come out and stuff.
When they finished, it was like, 1 more tune. It was like,
Yeah.
5 more tunes, come on, play more.
Yeah. They did actually play one more, though.
They did, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, any other thoughts on them?
Go on, Jen.
I loved them, they were great.
They were great. I did enjoy them.
Any other thoughts?
Don't remember.
Good effort.
Yeah, you guys were great. I really enjoyed you guys a lot. It's,
They were really sound actually. I remember we chatted.
Yeah, we chatted to
afterwards,
them. Yeah. Yeah, because we were sorting out buying stuff. Yeah, and I think their drummer's a tattoo artist because he had a lot of really cool tattoos.
Oh, did they?
Somebody said something about that.
One of them was a tattooist.
Yeah. The drummer, like I think he actually was. I think he is a tattoo artist as well. So yeah, he had like a lot of really, really sick work on him. So
Nice.
Yeah, really good band.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Look for
Check them out
Baron
when you get a chance.
Baron. Oh, we said Baroness then. I was like, no, that's not them.
Very different band.
Yeah, very different band.
Yeah, so that's kind of, I think, all the gigs we've been to.
Yeah.
In recent times.
Yeah,
How are we doing for time?
we're fine.
Oh yeah, it might be a long episode. We had an interview. You'll enjoy it all. Yeah. Listen to us. Should we do some that are coming up?
Go on then.
It's a bit of a quiet one, actually.
Oh, thank fuck.
One
My wallet gets to survive for another.
One I'm going to mention, I think we're going to put it on the socials, is get your asses down to the Griffin and the bank holiday weekend. There's a whole heap of stuff happening here.
Is he doing another bank holiday?
Yeah, another...
This is the one. Is this the one that's also at the exchange as well as here?
Yeah.
Right.
So on the Sunday or Monday,
Yeah.
John has booked the exchange because he's got several different American bands playing. They're all playing brutal death metal.
Yeah.
But basically, he can't do it here because the venue's too small.
Yeah.
So we're talking.
He actually sold enough tickets and stuff.
So he said if he was here, it'd be 50 quid a ticket, basically.
Yeah.
So by having an exchange, it's kind of a partnership. It's his first show outside of his living room.
Yep.
So go support it. It's 20 quid a ticket, I think.
Yep.
And for that,
I want to go to that. Wait, is that this weekend?
Yes.
So we can't do the Saturday.
It's not the Saturday, it's the Sunday or Monday.
Oh, it's the Sunday and Monday? Oh, fuck it then, yeah.
There's stuff on in the Griffin all weekend, but
Yeah.
the one in the exchange is Sunday or Monday, I can't remember which it is.
Because that's where Basement Torture Killings are
It
playing.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's Basement Torture Killings.
Is it sold out?
No.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Emasculator, Immortal Suffering,
Emasculator.
and Stabbing.
What a name.
So they're all versions of brutal American.
Oh, yeah, they are.
death.
Oh, Basement Torture Killings are
Very UK
as
minded,
fuck.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's obviously going to be before when this episode comes out, but we will put it on the socials because it's well worth it. I'm going to mention the Whitechapel one because there's a bit of confusion.
Yeah, so we said before that we thought that was next year in 2026. We're now looking at it, it seems to be, we actually think it's in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think
Which does make more sense, because it was a bit weird that they announced a gig for June, in like 2026. I don't know, maybe it's just a mix up on the posters or something or whatever.
Because I definitely got very excited. Then it's like, oh, it's 26 all balls.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're listening to this in one called Whitechapel, I suggest buying a ticket because I think it might be in 2 or 3 weeks' time.
Yeah, we need to get tickets for that.
Right, let's go to stuff that's relevant for when this comes out. So this episode will drop on the 30th for all you lucky people out there.
Whoop, whoop.
What's happening on that day? There's stuff happening on the 30th, which is good. Moore, we have Faux Fest. So
I know, I'm going to miss this. I'm so annoyed.
It's right up your alley.
Yeah, I know.
Where are you going?
Wait, is this the one that's coming up? When is it again?
30th of May.
Oh yeah, maybe I can go. I think annoyingly because it's like an Ordero, it cuts into the day, it cuts into Saturday, so I'm working.
So it's Friday and Saturday now. It's I think
yeah.
the first time they've done 2 days.
Yeah.
So on the Friday, which is the 30th, you have Outlive, Deprivation of Liberty, Long Drop, Expoticary, and Wrecked Culture. They're all versions of hardcore.
Yeah.
The second day, not that one. I will come back to it. Where am I? Who am I? What happened to that guy's head?
Where are you?
The second day is Born in Dissonance,
Yep.
which we've mentioned a few times in this show actually.
Yeah.
They're kind of hardcore, metalcore kind of blend.
Yeah.
Bind, which are metalcore. Chain of Survival, hardcore.
Yep.
Lethal Minds, again hardcore. Most of them are now hardcore from here on out. So there's Peruvian Necktie.
Yeah, which we talked about.
Detriment, which is debt-infused hardcore. Acid Horror, which is crossover trash. False Reality, we've mentioned and reviewed.
Yeah, we watched them, didn't we?
We have. Zoil, which is New Zealand hardcore. Going Off, another hardcore. They've been headlined by TRC.
Yeah, TRC, which are the OC. People remember early 2010s hardcore, remember the TRC. Great band.
So yeah, they're headlining, that's more on Saturday the 31st.
Yeah, I mean, it's so annoying just because for all dayers, obviously Fridays and Saturdays are my busiest days in the studio, so I always have bookings.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I can't squeeze, like, leaving at like 3 to go down there.
Yeah.
So if I do go, it'll be just
Friday.
for like, well, no, it'll be like for
You're
the
working Friday and Saturday.
Yeah. I know it's going.
Well, the Friday one starts later, so you'll probably be able to make that.
Maybe. I'll see if I can swing it. If I can swing it, I'll swing it. If I can't, I can't, unfortunately. But yeah, TRC are fucking old school. Like, they're so funny. Like, they're the truly, they got kind of nicknamed the Chav hardcore band because they're like these boys from
That
London.
doesn't seem like it should go.
It's great. They were great. You know, fucking yeah. I fucking love TRC.
So yeah, if you want a hardcore weekend, there you go at Moore.
That'll be really fun.
On the same Friday, I think that's the Griffin, it is indeed, we have the very other end of the scale, which is Finnish death metal by a band called Convulse.
Oh.
Which I think is 25 years, I think it's on the poster up there. It is, that one.
Yeah.
Yep, what does it say? 25 years of decay. So there you go, that's a big one.
Wow.
With Vicissitude, I don't know how to say that. Which are
Nathan's
New
Scandinavian.
Zealand Carvinist death metal, which I can only assume is blackened death metal.
Yeah. Where's all these bands from New Zealand coming over?
I don't know, it's great though. And then we have the support from Anxiety card, which is a Bristol metalcore band.
Nice.
So that's in the best pub in Bristol on the Friday the 30th, which is obviously the day this comes out, which is why it's relevant. Then the next one, so it's kind of starting to quieten down a little bit because it's getting into summertime and festival time and everything else.
Yeah.
So we have the semi-final of Metal to the Masses on the 8th of June.
Nice.
I already mentioned the bands in that, so I won't go into that again. Then we have, if I do maybe 2 more, that'll bring us into nicely crossover. On Friday the 13th of June, we have Hiatus, which is cross punk, Disciple BC, which is a horror punk,
Disciple, I've heard of them.
Bozos, which is trash punk and roll, which is an interesting.
I've heard of them.
Have you?
Where's this to?
Give me a guess.
Here?
Nope.
No?
Chelsea.
Nope.
Red Lion.
Nope.
Exchange.
No. Jesus, it'll be the last one. Moore.
Morbid. Okay.
And a name that I love, Necromonicant. Gotta write that.
Oh, I've heard of them for sure.
Which is like a punky doom.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's another good punk kind of date, Moore. And what else do we have? Death Haven I've already mentioned. If that's your jam, then go for it. This is the 16th of June. On the same day, which is the Monday.
Where are they playing it? Well, now the
Trinity Centre.
Oh, wow, they're playing the Trinity. Okay.
Unless it's been upgraded, but last time...
No. I mean, the Trinity's pretty big, to be fair. It kind of weirdly makes sense for the shoegaze black metal band.
Black
gaze, yeah. Yeah, it makes sense for them to play there, actually.
We mentioned them before. If you don't know what they sound like, go listen to them, because they're their own style, basically. They've invented a new genre.
Yeah.
Subgenre. And on the same day, again in Moore putting on a heap of gigs.
Yeah.
Fair play to you, lads, you're doing great. We have Contention, which is straight edge metalcore. That's a bit of a weird one, straight edge metalcore.
No, it's true. I mean, it's just the style of the thing, isn't it, really?
We have support from Long Goodbye, which is metalcore. Not Without Punishment, great name, which is metallic hardcore, which kind of should be metalcore, really, if you think about it. And Plague Pit, which are Black and Death.
Nice.
So that's going to be a heavy ass day. I'm probably going to go to that. It's going to be quite fun.
Okay.
It's kind of my jam.
Are you going to try and go to the Faux Fest stuff as well?
Can do.
Give it a go. like it's a fucking difficult job or something.
I know, my life's not so good. I have to go to gigs. So I think that's locally what's coming up. If we go to some bigger announcements.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Rattle through them.
What we got?
Because there's been quite a few in the last few weeks. I just haven't mentioned them because
We've been like into
that's the
big people
penis
and stuff, yeah.
I've got signatures on my penis.
What?
Look,
Oh, on the drawing. Okay.
Yeah, not on my X.
Sorry, for the listeners at home who aren't watching the video, yeah, he's got a drawing of a penis.
In my famous notebook that's going to make me millions when we're famous.
The one that you can always hear on the microphones that he drops on the floor all the time.
And fall off the chair for. Right, anyway. Before I fall off the chair. Kill Switch Engage, Hatebreed, Fit for an Autopsy and Decapitated.
Jesus fucking Christ.
What a line-out. So the nearest one's Cardiff. That's the 12th of October.
Yeah, we're going to have to go to Cardiff.
I fancy a trip to Cardiff for that.
Yeah.
Badass. I mean, Decapitated are the opening band. Like, that's insane.
That's mad.
So that's an awesome line-out. They're doing a few around UK, London, Birmingham.
Yeah. It makes it, once again, it's because Bristol, we just still don't quite have that stadium.
Yeah, we don't have it, exactly.
That's what we need if we want to have that gig here, not Cardiff.
One I'm very excited about, which is the week before, on the 6th of October in SWX, which is now Electric. We're going to go into that at a different time when we have time. Is Blood Incantation.
Yes,
was our album of the year last year, and they're doing something about that album. I don't know what they're doing, but they're touring it.
I mean, hopefully they're just going to play the whole thing. I'd love it if they just play
They have to. We said that like when we reviewed it. Like we have to listen to the entirety.
Yeah.
So that's going to be badass.
Yeah.
We have Unwound, which is experimental post-hardcore. I think they're kind of one of the originals, so probably up your alley.
Yeah.
That is The Fleece, 2nd November.
Oh wow, The Fleece. Okay, that's cool.
Troops of Doom, which is old school 80s death metal. 20th of October in the Exchange. Hailstorm and Bloodywood, so that's Hail, not Ale.
Yeah.
Bloodywood
as well.
Yeah.
Where are they playing?
This one is in Cardiff as well.
Okay.
That's the 20th of November. Again,
maybe it'll be a good one to go to, seeing as like with the stage problems that they had. Yeah,
exactly. Next one, which I'm definitely going to as well, is Darkest Hour plus Bleeding True.
Okay.
So Darkest Hour, remember you didn't really like him, but I met the guitar player and bought him a shot of whiskey, and hopefully you remember me and buy me one. That's 30th September in Fleece. That's definitely happening. A big announcement that I'm very excited by for multiple reasons. Testament, Obituary, Destruction and Gotor.
That's good.
That sounds wonderful.
That sounds brilliant.
So multiple reasons that's good. Firstly, all the bands are fantastic. Secondly, Gotor I've taken the piss out of numerous times for the name being ridiculous. Yeah. So need to go see them, right? And also, last time I saw Testament was in Do2. Fuck Do2. This one's in the Beacon. So finally it's happening.
Nice.
It's happening.
Yeah,
the Beacon is taking over.
Yeah, definitely.
So that is the 7th of October.
Oh, cool. October. Fucking hell, that's the time, boy.
So that is fantastic. Speaking though too, unfortunately there is one coming there, which is Avatar, which is kind of circusy metal, kind of good fun.
I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest Avatar fan, so I don't really not that.
Plus alien weaponry.
Oh, I like alien weaponry though. See, them I like.
They're really good.
Yeah, they're really
I've
good.
seen them support Kajira before.
Yeah.
And then the last one on my big list of things is Orange Goblin and Grand Magnus.
Yeah.
Grand Magnus?
Magnus,
yeah. And Urn.
Yeah.
14th of December in SWX.
Wow.
As I've mentioned, this is the final transmission tour of Orange Goblin.
Yep.
They weren't supposed to be playing Bristol, so the fact it's 14th of December probably means it's one of the last shows ever.
Yeah. So potentially, that's going to be them done.
They won't have many more shows after.
No,
they're finished at 25. So.
Yeah. That's amazing. I mean, the only thing I've got to add is obviously Damnation finally announced their headliners.
Yes.
They did.
And they've got Corrosion of Conformity playing one of their only European shows. So not just only UK shows, they're only European shows.
Yeah.
And Napalm Death are actually going to come and get a full headline set. And I've got to be honest, I'm now going to have to get a fucking ticket.
But take my money!
Because I was already on the cusp of getting a ticket, and now with those two headliners, I'm just like, for fuck's sake, now I'm just going to have to do it.
How much are the tickets now?
I can't remember off the top of my head, but apparently the pay £25 a month thing is still up, so you can
just
pay for it like as you go.
Over like we did for Bloodshot.
You should come.
Probably will. When is it?
Danny, you should come. It's like whatever it is, like fucking December. No, October.
There's a lot happening in October.
Is it November?
I think. I swear the one that I went to that you were.
It's somewhere around
like Halloween that they did it.
Yeah. It's like that around Halloween time, so at the very end of October, beginning of November, basically. Cool. Yeah, we should go.
It's cold up the north.
Oh, I'll tell you now, Manchester, Jesus.
Winter's coming.
It is, especially in Manchester. Yeah. I guess the last bit of news we got to talk about though, isn't it? Is we mentioned it a bit earlier on, but is the fact that the Exchange lot are they seem to be retaking over the Croft.
Yeah.
So Crofters, what was Crofters' Rights was the Croft before, for the listeners, was a
historic
really
venue for a lot
historic
of
and seminal band, like Funny enough, Paul Collier, remember who we interviewed?
Yeah.
One of the early, you should go listen to that. He did a big post about that, being like, this is one of the most important venues to me. Wouldn't have that if it wasn't for the here. Same for me. A bunch of the bands I was in played there. We booked loads of gigs there, like all dayers, loads of stuff. Like I watched Municipal Waste there for the first time. I watched Trash Talk there for the first time. Like there's a bunch of great, amazing bands and great nights and stuff that were there. So the fact that, and what's funny is obviously the Exchange was people leaving the Croft when it got taken over years ago and starting the Exchange. So it's kind of quite a nice full circle. That
Hopefully it's kind of just like an Exchange 2.0.
That's what I mean. Yeah, but with a bigger
capacity.
Capacity, yeah. You know, so I'm really excited about that. I think that's such a big boon to the.
On a similar note, Motion 2.0.
I've heard about this, yeah.
So I haven't heard about this.
Well, obviously everyone knows that Motion is closing in July.
Yeah.
They've tried to buy the place, landlords will have none of it, so their lease runs out, they're done. And they've now accepted that, but what they're doing is they've launched a crowdfunder for Motion 2.0.
Yeah.
They want to do 250 grand, so it's a big old investment. Yeah. Everyone that donates, you get a reward, so it could be a t-shirt, it could be an entry, whatever. And obviously you only donate what you can. Yeah. They're currently at 8,300 and something. So it needs to get out there. People need to start donating. And the idea is they're basically moving the whole venue to a new venue that they will own outright. Yeah. Keep the spirit of Motion alive. Get all the bands.
It's so shit like that they're having to go. Like it does my fucking head in because like we said, we mentioned it before. The reason that the landlord won't sell them, even though they've got the money, is because in that area of Bristol, they're just basically creating all this fucking like student village bullshit and building all these big fancy student like flat high-rise things. They wanted that kind of shit, you know, new build shit, blah blah blah, where the shops underneath and all that kind of nonsense, you know what I mean? And it's like, oh, we'll just strip all the actual culture out of the city to house more students, that then won't have anything to go to because all the venues have been shut down to make way for their fucking housing. So I
hope it's successful. There's only 2 more months left in it, so
I need to throw them a little bit of money.
And it varies from everything from a tenner all the way up to like 5 grand. So whatever people can afford, I would highly suggest donating to it because you've seen the gig there, we've all seen the gig there, we want to see more gigs there.
And it's just like in general. Look, we talk about it all the time, the support local thing, but it's just look, venues are closing left, right, and centre all over the country, and without that, you know, your new favourite band that you're listening to on Radio 1 at the moment wouldn't exist if there weren't smaller venues that they could play at and gigs they could be on and stuff that they could do. That will all vanish if local venues keep on just getting shut down all the time.
So as we say every episode, support local. And what's the other thing we say? Fuck the O2.
Fuck the O2.
I have a few other bits of news, but sure.
Let's go.
Do we want to go through? Do we have time for those?
Yeah, we'll be alright.
Our episodes are going longer in time. It's fine. Everyone loves the sound of my voice. It's alluring, you can sleep to it. A few things. So, Al Jorgensen from Ministry, the fella that's covered in tattoos and piercings, like every other metalhead, you know the fella I'm talking about, is ending Ministry, officially ending Ministry.
Saying that, I will believe it when I fucking see it. That band did a farewell tour 15 years ago.
Well, and they're supposed to be playing Bloodstock, so I don't really know.
Whatever, like, I don't care. I'll believe it when I fucking see it.
I care, I think they're still playing Bloodstock. That's why I bought a ticket.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, Ministry and Fear Factory. I'm going to have the best time.
Provided Ministry are still playing it.
I will believe Ministry are ending when when they haven't played in 5 years and all the members are dead. Then I'll believe that Ministry's ended. I don't trust that band. They've said that they're ending that band for like 20 years now, and it's never happened.
Apparently, it's not personal or health issues. He's just sick of playing music.
Okay, well, good for it. Well, fine. Well, fuck you.
He's like, I don't want to repeat myself anymore and bollocks to it. I was like, well, I don't.
And then they'll have a break for a year, and then they'll restart the band.
And then they'll realise.
Blah blah. Yeah.
Well, anyway, as it stands now, apparently they're ending. So there you go. If you want to go see him this year. Apparently, Netflix are releasing a documentary about Limmy.
Oh yes.
On the 17th of July. So I have no idea what that's about, but obviously we're all going to watch it because hell yeah, it's Libby.
Do you know what kind of documentary? Is it like a Motley Crue acting one?
I don't think so. I think it's more of a serious kind of one.
Yeah, like a footage.
They also did unveil a huge statue of him in his home.
Yeah, they did. Yes, they did. That was really good. On the, what was it, the 50th
year? On the 8th of May, right?
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
Birthday? Day he died.
No, his
Day
birthday.
Birthday, he died in December.
He died in December. He died by Christmas. Yeah.
I remember when he died, I had a whiskey. So dogs. Anyway, moving on. Devin Townsend has also taken an indefinite break from touring.
Fair.
He's basically just toured for years
Yeah,
and years.
he works really hard. And he's gotten better and better at managing his own mental health as well. Like, he knows that he's not the most well man in the world, so he's well aware of like pushing himself too far, I think.
Yeah, and sometimes you just have to
have a break, take a step back.
Already mentioned Open to the Croft. That's great news. It's been done by the Music Venue Trust, which is the first time I've seen that actually work. So if you buy any tickets through Headfirst or anything like that, you have an option to donate to it. No one knows where the money goes, but apparently it's going there. So good. It's good to see you come around. Then the only other bit of thing I have is there's beef currently going on with Trivium and Bullet. Because they were on the Ascendance.
I heard about this double headline tour thing.
Yeah, which I went to see. It was great. But apparently they've fallen out and they're blaming each other for it.
Because there's new adding to that. There is beef between is Architects and whoever they're supposed to be co-headlining with.
Right.
Apparently they're having beef as well.
And they're
So
getting
it's turning into this whole thing of like
social media battle.
Yeah,
they're the same fucking tour bus.
It's turning really catty and everything.
Fucking bitch over here.
Wait, are they bitching on Twitter?
On all the socials, they're literally coming out and kind of going, they're cancelling the tour because of him, and then they respond by going, we're cancelling the tour because of them. And like, lads, grow up.
So they actually cancelled the tour?
So they're finishing it early, yeah. So
really?
It's supposed to be a world tour and they're stopped.
You're joking.
So yeah.
Grandma?
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Bank out of that.
Absolutely.
The boys are getting their handbags out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, I heard just recently that there's also, I don't know who Architects are on tour with at the moment, like, but they're doing a similar thing where they're doing like a co-headline tour and they're having catty beef with whoever it is that they're co-headlining.
It's just ridiculous, isn't it?
I know, it's crazy.
Like, people are paying to see both bands, so screw up, enjoy it, make money.
Exactly. You're like some of the biggest bands in the world. Like, chill out.
You really have nothing to worry about. You can pay your bills. Like, come on.
Yeah.
So that kind of is the end of everything for me, really. So,
well, there we go then.
Beautiful voice.
Aww.
Beautiful face. It's very hot in here. I'd be glad to get a cold pint.
It's not that hot.
That's why I'm literally dripping. Like,
okay. Really?
Beanie little green eye over there.
Ah, you love the green eye.
I haven't really looked at the green eye. I'm sure it looks
me.
Oh no, I keep looking the other way. I don't want to look at
I look at it all the time. Hello.
On that note, bye. We will fuel my fire. Listen to everything. Give us likes and follows on socials. Check out our YouTube channel. There's loads of stuff happening that. Now including video. Oh, and I remember this one. Anyway, we'll see you in the pits.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.